Start. Okay, leave it up for Tracy. She's been such a big help. And then let's give it up for John. Let's give it up for John. John, you should come up here so all live streamers can see you. So John is the reason. So if you guys have been with us for a few pace letters, like a couple years, we didn't always have the best sound quality, and it sounds so good, it looks so good because of John. So we are so thankful for him. Hey, John. Hashtag John rocks. But he's so awesome because he stays here really late with us. And we have the other John. Are you still single this week, John? I'm still single, guys. So if you know anybody, I have a sister. Okay. All right. We're going to get started. So a little disclaimer, we're going to just pray that my voice does not go out. I burnt the inside of my throat. Has anyone ever done that? I have never in my life done that before. And it is horrible. I was drinking, I had tea in my Yeti cup. And I just wasn't even thinking I went to go take a chug. And I wasn't in a place where I could like spit it out. And I just, oh my gosh, don't ever do that. Just spit it out. It doesn't matter where you're spitting, just spit it out. So I've been like sucking on ice cubes today, and like that's a good excuse to go get ice cream, I guess, right?
Send me the link so I can go outside and listen to it.
Was that?
They're all really good. Yeah,
Send me. I don't have a link to this week's
Okay,
podcast.
so I am so excited to be here. I had a whirlwind of a trip last week.
better?
Did I surprise you guys? I couldn't tell you because it was like a secret mission. We were trying to surprise you, but I had fun. It was like it was supposed to be only like a 20-something hour trip, and I ended up getting delayed 6 hours. And my Instagram story was hysterical. We were on the runway for 3 hours in Sacramento. And we finally
They're saying they can hear you.
2 hours.
How can they hear me? Okay, right. That's a quick fix.
And so it was very eventful, but
we can hear. They can hear me and you talking, but they're having a hard time hearing her.
That's bizarre.
Oh my God, they're all laughing.
Winter pace setters. Can you just say the live stream we know? We know. Stop texting Tracy. We're fixing it. She's getting blown up. Stop texting her. We are getting it handled. What's the problem? Can they not hear it? Okay. Should I not talk about anything like significant? Like, can they not hear us at all? Some of my jokes. I do have funny like kids stories. Let's see. Today Kennedy walked in and she had, like, remember our at play line that we had with the blue? Do you remember the blue, like lightning blue eyeliner thing, whatever? So I kept one for Halloween because it's like a good whatever. And she somehow got into that. And so little Misty in her bell dress has lightning blue, whatever, and then had my red lipstick. And she walks in and she's like, so pretty, so pretty. And I'm like, you're going to give me a run for my money. I was never like that as a little girl. I was never into makeup or anything like that. So it's funny to see her so girly. Okay, you're good now. We're good. Okay. They can hear me. Emily tweeted, love my national. I love you too, Emily. Emily's going to be a sales director in my national area. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so if you have ahas, tweet them. So what about some local ahas? Do we have any local ahas in the room? Like things that you discovered last week. Wins from last week. You guys are making me look bad. Come on up here. Don't be nervous. I mean, I know a lot of people are watching, but don't be nervous. Oh, thank you. I was like, do I need to use both of them? I understand. I understand now. Okay, so tell everyone who you are and what your win was last week.
My name is Megan, and I have not had a party since November, and I booked a party with 4 people in one day and sold $340 and scheduled a party after that.
Yay! That's awesome! Yay, Megan! I love that. Thank you. Who else? Anyone else win from last week? Yes, come on up. As her director's like shoving her out of her seat. You have a win. Okay, so tell us your name and what your win was.
My name is Daisy, and I'm a relatively new consultant. And so, I've been having this consistent dream of standing in front of people and telling my story. And so, with that, it just kind of pushed me to, get out of my comfort zone with leads and stuff. And now I'm, a vendor for my gym.
Yay! Awesome! That's awesome. You know what? One of my directors, Daisy, I thought this was so creative. When she did a gym, promotion at her gym, instead of, how we do, the rose promotions at a restaurant, she handed out water bottles. Isn't that genius? Isn't that so smart? She went to Costco and got things of water bottles. And so instead of a rose, because no one's going to turn down water at the gym. I mean, seriously. Okay, let me check Twitter. Tracy, can you, whatever this is, handle that? Let me check Twitter here. Okay, wins from last week. Okay. Allison. Allison, I'm very excited to do Allison Vest. When we do personality training, I want everyone on Twitter to guess who Allison is, because her Twitter is a reflection of her personality, and I love it. Okay, let's see here. Oh, now they're just saying they can hear me. Okay. Pam Garner Morse, her people all have masks on right now. They're taking selfies with the charcoal masks. Let's see here. Amanda Lynn has a Trenta. That's a win for you right now, but I want to know your wins. Oh, here we go. She had a 7-person party. That's her win, but she's also drinking a Trenta something from Starbucks. Okay. Wins from last week. Here we go. They're loading. All right. Tiffany Dobbs is submitting DIQ March 1st. Just so exciting. We had a lot of that happen. We had a lot of medals, you guys. I know my sister-in-law got a bronze medal so far, and she's not stopping. She's determined to be in DIQ, which is so exciting. So shout out to the Atlanta hub and Dusty and her girls. Okay, we are going to jump right in. So I have a couple of things that I want to share with you. So I always like to go week by week and figure out what were things I didn't get to necessarily talk about that I wanted to talk about. So we're going to talk about some of those tonight. But one thing that I really want to go into depth a little bit more is customer retention, and also just building a strong customer base. So did it really help last week for us to kind of break down the skincare class and tell you the why behind everything? How many of you actually implemented some of the things and saw a difference? Right? Okay, it makes a difference. Just little tiny tweaks. So probably give me like a week maybe, but Michelle Sanders, my good friend Michelle, she's in New Jersey. She sold $70,000 worth of product last year. It was a huge jump in her personal business. And so we're going to do a Facebook Live together, and I'm going to interview her. And we're going to learn what caused her shift, what systems did she put in place for customer retention. So all those questions that you would want to know. If I could give you just some highlight reels of good customer retention ideas, the first is to consider the competition. That would probably be the first thing. And so here's the deal. 10, 15 years ago, if you were starting Mary Kay, I really believed that you could get away with, okay, I'll get that in my next order and you'll get it in a week. How many of you are a member of Amazon Prime? I don't know about you, but this is me half the time. What? It's Monday and I can't get it till Wednesday? What's up with that? They don't offer 2-day shipping? We're just becoming so much more spoiled. Okay, so hear me. You can be highly successful in Mary Kay without inventory. Hear me. You can. I've seen people do it. They've had to bust their butt. They've had to work really hard, but you can do it. But I also want to tell you that you need to also consider the time in which we live. And that is that people need things right away. And so a policy that I always had for myself is that I would always, even on my reorder label, it says I will deliver product within 48 hours. And I always hold up to that. So I even have a plan. If I'm out of town, when my sister's house sitting or whoever's house sitting, I sometimes will forward them orders. And I'll be like, congratulations, you're dog sitting and you're a Mary Kay delivery person right now. Because I don't want my customers to be let down, because I don't want them to go somewhere else. Because as loyal as they are to me, when a woman runs out of foundation, she runs out of foundation. And so I don't want to lose her. Okay. So consider that. Consider the times that we're in. So making sure that you have adequate inventory. And you guys, there's always, not frequently, but there's always going to be that time where someone's like, I need, watermelon lipstick. And we don't sell that, but let's just say that watermelon lipstick, something so random that you never sell. And so then what I do is, oh my gosh, I don't have that in stock right now. I can get it ordered for you right away. As an apology, I'd love to give you an additional item at half off. So I always make it up to her because I want her to know that I've got her back. And so I'm not losing the lipstick sale. I'm actually getting her on another product. It's not costing me anything, but I'm making things good between the two of us. I'm having excellent customer service. Another thing that I used to do when I had most of my customer base in California is that I would have delivery days, and I would always try to deliver to their work. And I got just a cheap helium. Now you can go even to the dollar store and get 2 for $1 or something, but I would tie a balloon to their bag because balloons make people happy. And so I would walk into their work with their order with a balloon tied to it. And I would be like, okay, I'm here for Audrey. Is Audrey here? I'd love to drop this off to her. And so everyone's like, why does Audrey get a balloon with a cute bag? My Clinique lady didn't do that, and so I deliver it to her. I also wrap the products in tissue paper. I don't know if you guys have ever done that before, but you can go, and this is all at the dollar store. It doesn't need to cost a lot. Tissue paper. And I think those are optional things, but Just think about like, you guys, when I go to, I only really buy like one thing from Nordstrom, maybe occasional things, but bras are like my thing at Nordstrom. Like I will not shop anywhere else for bras. So just a little side tip there. We do not buy bras from anywhere but Nordstrom. Okay? Yes, everyone. That's like a Mary Kay rule because they know what they're doing there. Like how you're an advanced color consultant, they're an advanced bra person. And they know, like if you've never had a fitting there, it will change your life. It will change your life. It will change your confidence. Stop going to the other place that is so when you were in high school. It's not time anymore, okay? It will rock your world. Okay, we're all in agreement there. But when I go, you guys, they wrap my bras in tissue paper. Like they don't even put a sticker. It's just tissue. And I go home and I feel super fancy. Do you know what I'm talking? Like you feel so fancy, or like a boutique. Like how many of you like hold on to the boutique? It's stupid, but you hold on to the boutique paper and you're like, oh my gosh, it's fancy. So how can you make yourself fancy? And then the non-negotiable one that I really believe everyone has to do is a personalized thank you note. You don't necessarily have to mail it, but drop it in there. I try to post every once in a while on my Instagram story when I write mine, just to be an example. Like, but over Christmas, I had made a goal to pay for excursions on our family vacation with my Mary Kay sales. And so one of my customers had placed a really big order, and I realized that that would pay for my entire family. There was like 10 of us to go into like a cave, like a cavern in Arkansas. And so I wrote that on the card, you know, thank you, Marcel, for being such an awesome customer. Because of you, I'm taking my entire family on a cave excursion over Christmas. We're going to be having amazing memories thanks to you being such a loyal, awesome customer. Thank you. And you guys, she sent me a picture of that and was like, oh my gosh, I cried. Thank you for sharing that with me. And so, you know, just letting her know, like, hey, you're not just buying from a big corporation, you're buying from, you know, me, someone who's a small business owner who is using stuff like this to create memories with my family. And then when I was there, I sent her, because we also have a friendship because of my Mary Kay business, but I sent her a text message of all of us in the cave. And I said, I just want to say thank you again. And you guys, do you think she's ever going to shop anywhere else? And it's not me trying to have some sales tactic. Like I genuinely am thankful for her. Like I look at, you know, even the little things, like when Lincoln was starting to homeschool, there was like a month or two that all my sales paid for all of his curriculum. Like that's my son's education. I could totally take that out of my national commission, but I love putting stuff that we purchase, things that mean something to my family, and putting my sales profit to that. And so, and it will become very common. The more consistent you get in your business, you'll go to Home Goods, and maybe it's your goal to like decorate your little girl's room, and you'll be like, oh, that rug, that's 4 faces. That dresser, that's 6 faces. Like it's weird, but that's how your brain will start to work. Totally. Okay. So look forward to that with Michelle. So thank you for Michelle. We're super appreciative of you. And she's such a dear friend of mine, and she's going to rock your world. So watch for that Facebook Live. And then what I wanted to do is, before we get into some selling objectives that I wanted to talk about, I also just kind of want to give like a little, this is Mary Kay, because the more that I get into this business, I realize that not a lot of new consultants read the Mary Kay biography. And I wish that Mary Kay almost made that like mandatory, like you had to take a test on it before you could become a consultant, because you would fall in love with this business. My grandpa, and actually my grandma's watching tonight. Hi, Nanny. She is in her, I should never tell her age, but I love you. I love you, Nanny. Everything I learned about people is because of Nanny. But anyway, my grandpa was very skeptical about Mary Kay, very skeptical in the beginning, and just had all these assumptions about it. And so I gave him the Mary Kay autobiography, and that is what sold him on our company. And he went on to read almost every single book that Mary Kay had ever written. And he, to this day, will just tell people what a brilliant businesswoman she was, and how smart she was, and how she created the company. And so I just want to give you kind of a brief overview, because I think that we're at such an interesting time in our country. You know, I don't even want to call it feminism. It's this movement of, you know, women needing to have equal pay, you know, that men have, and just, how we're raising our daughters, and neither good or bad. I don't even know if I have like a stance one way or another, but I just know that change is on the horizon for where our country's going. And so with that being said, is I think a lot of people don't really realize that Mary Kay was like the front runner during that time, during the 60s, during the 70s, when you did stay home and bake a casserole. There's a famous interview with Oprah Winfrey before Oprah had her show. I think it was like on the Today Show. She was an anchor on there. And she asked Mary Kay, so do you think you're responsible for the feminist movement? And Mary Kay said, I do believe that we were some of the front runners of that movement. Yes, because I really believe that women can have their cake and eat it too. And so, you know, when you see all these other companies. I remember in the 90s, early 2000s, there was a company called Cookie Lee. I don't think they're around anymore, but it was a jewelry company. And their CEO would always say she was inspired to start her business because of Mary Kay Ash, and gave Mary Kay Ash so much credit for everything that she had learned and how she had structured her company. And so, you know, you will never find, like if you look at any other direct selling company, there is no one that has as many awards, is quoted. A lot of people don't know this, but the Mary Kay business model is taught at Harvard Business School. It's taught at a lot of business colleges. It literally is in the textbook. So our company accolades, our awards, I mean, we are the gold standard is what we are. And so a little bit of history. When Mary Kay was a young woman, she was selling something called Stanley Products. It was like home, like flashlights and fumes and just random stuff. And it was a woman dominated. It was all men. And she was seeing the CEO basically have her train people beneath her so that they could pass her up, and they were not wanting to give Mary Kay a promotion. And there got to a point where Mary Kay was really high up in the company that they moved her. They moved her out of Houston, where all of her customers were, all of her team members. She had like 130 people on her team, and they moved her out of there basically to sabotage her, and she would lose everything, like everything she had built, because they had territories. And so she saw how Stanley Home Products had treated her. She remembered that, you know, the CEO would be up in front, like doing a speech, and he wouldn't stay afterwards and greet everyone. And so she was just taking all these mental notes. And so finally she had enough. And she said, you know what, I'm going to start my own company. And you guys, it wasn't that she had this passion for lip gloss or mascara. She never knew it was going to be cosmetics in the beginning. She just knew she was going to create the structure of the business. So she made a business plan before there was even a product. Think about how backwards that is for most people, right? And so this whole business was created because she knew what she wanted women to have. And so she literally made a list. She took out a piece of paper and she made a list. And she said, okay, what would I want in a company? I want recognition. I would want women to have their priorities of God first, family second, career third. I wouldn't want men to, you know, I want to have women be able to climb the ladder and not be held back because of a man. You know, she made this list of all these things. And then that's when she went to plan B of, okay, find a need and fill it. And that's when she decided that women would always use skincare and cosmetics. And so she had this guy who was I'm going to say it wrong, hide tanner. Is that right? Hide tanner, which is like, it tans the hides, which were for, I still don't quite understand. You're a horse person. Tell us, Kelly. Leather. So it like dyed leather, but it softened it. So he had this emollient that softened the leather. Okay, Kelly is a horse person, so she would know skin and stuff like that. Okay, I mean, I know skin too, but you know, like leather. Okay, so it was this formula, and she realized it was making like hand soft and skin soft, and so she bought his formula from him, and that was the very first product that we had. And so Mary Kay had $5,000 in her savings. And right before she was to open up Mary Kay Cosmetics, her husband died. And her accountant and her lawyer both said to her, Mary Kay, you are a woman. It is 1963. You have $5,000. Go enjoy the rest of your life. Live off the government. Don't do this. Like, this would be, you don't have a husband. What are you doing? And just really discouraged her. And she grabbed her son and said, you know what? No, we are going to do this. We're going to do this because there are women counting on me. It was always about the women that would be counting on her. And so they started Mary Kay Cosmetics. And so they opened a little building. And originally we sold wigs and this emollient. Could you imagine if we still sold wigs? Oh my gosh. Wigs and emollient. And then it just evolved. It evolved. And I'm trying to think what other stories I can tell you. Mary Kay had her closest friends become beauty consultants. And then Mary Kay realized that she could not keep up and train everyone. And so that's when she came up with the sales director position. And then the national sales director position was created because she realized that one day she would pass on, and she needed to know that she could entrust her company to who she called her daughters. And those were the women that were in the national sales directors. A little fun fact about our red jacket. A lot of people don't know how the red jacket came about. Mary Kay got invited to, it was like a Mary Kay in the Ballpark event, and I think it was in Cincinnati, and they went to go to a ball game, and they wanted to impress Mary Kay, and so Mary Kay was going to throw out the first pitch, and so these directors decided that it was going to be a challenge. So if you recruited 3 team members, they were all going to wear matching red jackets and stand out on the field, and you got to stand on the field. And so Mary Kay came and she thought it looked so great with all the red jackets. And so she asked the director, what's up with all the red jackets? And she said, we made a challenge for them. When they have 3 team members, they got to wear the matching red jackets and go on the ball field. And Mary Kay was like, I like that. And within a few months, we had our red jacket program. How we got the Star Consultant program, thank goodness for this, but I forgot to bring mine tonight, but Mary Kay had this program called the Golden Goblet program. Kelly, does your mom have a lot of these? Was that right before? Okay. So like when you would have a high sales week, you would get this golden goblet. And my senior national, Jan Harris, gave me one because I really wanted one so bad. And it's just like a little brass goblet. And then it went on to you'd have a golden platter, but there's so many golden servingware things you could have. And so women literally had closets full of these goblets. And so that's when Mary Kay said, why don't we start wearing our recognition? And so she created the Ladder of Success pin and the Star Consultant program. So thank goodness we don't have goblets. Could you imagine all the goblets we would have? Oh my, does anyone in here have goblets? You have a golden goblet? So your mom had a golden goblet and she passed it on to you. Does anyone else have a golden goblet? You have one from your national. It's like a coveted hand-me-down. It's like, I have a golden goblet. And they're probably like, please, I have a closet full. I have a closet full. So if you're at your director's house right now, ask her if she has a golden goblet. She's got to go get it now and show you guys. But it's one of my most treasured things. I have it on a little shelf and it's my little golden goblet. So anyway, and then let's see here. What else could I tell you? What other fun things about Mary Kay? This was the other thing, is Mary Kay was always so good about just making people feel important. You guys have always heard her say that. And I really want to encourage you guys, read her books. I'm actually taking March, April, May, June, and I'm going to go back and reread every single book Mary Kay's written. And so read the books. It will give you chills what an amazing woman she was, an amazing business owner she was, an entrepreneur. But one of the things, one story that I love is that over the years, Mary Kay would come and visit, and of course you would get her something, right? Mary Kay's coming to town, you're going to get her a gift or whatever. So she accumulated a lot of items. And so Mary Kay actually had her assistant keep a catalog of who gave her what. And so if I was going to go to her house, her assistant would go through the catalog and see, 3 years ago, Leah gave you this vase, and they would make sure that vase was out. Isn't that amazing? So things like that. She would always bake cookies for everyone with her own personal recipe. One of my favorite stories is that Mary Kay lived in a really nice upscale neighborhood, and they had awards for best landscape or whatever, and Mary Kay really wanted to win. And so in the middle of the night, she would plant fake flowers in her yard. And so people would come by and be like, oh my gosh, Mary Kay, your yard is just so beautiful. And she would just say, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Did I tell you guys the Liberace story the first week? Did I tell it the first week? Okay, so this is my favorite Mary Kay story. So Mary Kay went to go see Liberace. And those of you, I didn't know who Liberace was. Someone had to tell me, but he was a very famous pianist. I know you guys are laughing, but one day someone's going to be like, Justin Timberlake, who? And I'm going to be like, okay, now I understand. Yes, okay, I understand. Okay, but does anyone, so Liberace, right? He was a very famous pianist. Would you say Elton John? I'm looking at people who know. Very Elton John, very eccentric, on steroids. Okay. So anyway, she had gone to his concert, and Liberace found out that Mary Kay was going to be there, and he really wanted to meet her because his mom had been a beauty consultant, and that's how she paid for his piano lessons, because of her Mary Kay business. Yes. And so he made sure Mary Kay had the best seat in the house, and afterwards someone came and ushered Mary Kay into his private dressing room. Well, that night, Mary Kay was wearing one of her beautiful diamonds, and it was a canary yellow diamond. And Liberace had a diamond collection and was like, Mary Kay, that's such a beautiful necklace. And she said, and he's like, it's canary yellow, it's beautiful. Oh my gosh, where did you find it? She's like, well, let me show you my trick. And so she opens up her bag and she pulls out a tray of magic markers. And she goes, let me show you. If I'm wearing red and I want a ruby, I just color it in ruby with the red marker. And she's like, and then if we want a sapphire, we take the blue. And so Liberace's like, security, go get the vault, get my diamonds. And so Liberace's security brought this tray full of diamonds, and they sat there for an hour coloring his diamonds with magic markers. And the story was told by Mary Kay's security guard. And so the security guard is just standing there what is happening right now? But she was just very, she was a very frugal woman. She was very down to earth. But also at the same time, so giving. I mean, I remember hearing stories of her standing for hours as an elderly woman, standing for hours and would not stop until the last person was hugged. And she wouldn't just have you come up and hug you and goodbye. She would look into your eyes and say, tell me your dreams. I know you can do it. I believe in you. And just an incredible, incredible woman. I'm trying to think of any of my other favorite stories. Let's see. Oh, the butterfly story. I have to tell you that really quick. So this is my favorite that my national shares with me. So Mary Kay had had her stroke and she couldn't communicate. And she had come to her last seminar and there was a consultant in my national area family that really wanted to do something special for Mary Kay. And so she organized with a bunch of consultants. And long story short, they arranged with the company to have a box of butterflies delivered to Mary Kay's house. And so Mary Kay came out into her atrium and her assistant sat in the box and opened it up and all these butterflies like flew out and Mary Kay could just like look around. She couldn't speak, couldn't say anything, but she could see all the butterflies. Well, that consultant never heard anything. Like she never heard if like Mary Kay had like gotten them or whatever. And so time had passed, Mary Kay had passed on. And there was a really big event, and they were raffling off. It was for the Mary Kay Charitable Foundation. They were raffling off some of Mary Kay's jewelry. And they had this butterfly. It was like a brooch or something like that. Well, anyway, long story short, it was out of thousands of people, and that consultant won. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. So anyway, just cool stories like that. So we need to get together like a big book of all the awesome stories because there's so many. Okay, but I did want you to know, like, when you think about, we lightly use hashtag boss babe. I mean, Mary Kay was the boss babe of her time. I mean, not a lot of people would take their life savings and say, you know what, I have a vision, let's go for it. And the other thing is, too, is that she was very quick to respond. So, like, when she first got her pink Cadillac, her sales directors were, like, drooling over it. And within a few weeks, they had a pink Cadillac program. Like, that was the type of woman that she was. She was like, if this is going to make you feel special, important, let's do it. Let's figure out how to implement it. And she was an incredible woman. And so I really want you to know that the foundation of this company is built on so many good things and vision and dreams. And I think that's why after 50 whatever years we're at now, 55, 56 years, that Mary Kay is standing so strong and that you will see other companies come and go. But it's because of our culture and that foundation that we've been built on that is why we are who we are today. You know, I love that Kelly is here because her mom is a national sales director. And how often does your daughter go, I want to fill my mom's legacy. I want to walk in her shoes. And that happens all the time in Mary Kay. That happens all the time. And I don't ever remember hearing my friends growing up saying, I want to do what my mom does. I want to change lives, you know, and how awesome to see generations and legacies created because of this amazing company. So it's pretty cool. Okay, I feel my throat going. It's not going to happen. This is very odd to me. If you guys are, it's a box with water. I feel like I should have some like cookies or something.
Yeah. Or like, I thought it was like fancy, like,
I think I taste more minerals. I don't know. I bet it's from Hawaii. Okay, so the next thing I didn't talk about last week that I want to talk about really quick is some selling objections, because we didn't touch on that. And I actually want you guys to give me some because I want to show you how quickly I will respond. And you need to know that this is just years of experiencing those objections. And so now I almost make it into a game. So I think when I go into the sale, I'm not ever intimidated that I can't answer a question or whatever. I just have the attitude of I'm gonna roll with it. So if you ever have someone that's like, well, does it have XYZ ingredient? The worst thing you can do is bluff, because you're gonna look like an idiot. And you look like you don't know what you're talking about. And so I always would say, you know what, that's an excellent question. I don't know, but let me find out and I can get back to you tomorrow. Let me call our medical department, get that answer for you, and I'll call you right back. And that has always made me look super professional. Okay, so when you're in the sale, what are objections that we hear on why they don't want to buy? I want to finish what I already have. Yes. Okay, awesome. So I can totally respect that, Audrey. You know, you've got a third of the bottle left or whatever. So I would encourage you to do a couple things. One is a lot of companies have a buyback. So like if you weren't happy with the product, you can return it. So if you seriously are loving and seeing a difference compared to brand X that you're using and you really do like this better, go into Sephora, go into Ulta. Most of them will take it back no matter how much you've used, which is pretty awesome. So that would be one option. The second option is I can totally take your name and number and I'll text message you within a week and follow up with you when you need more product. And I have had people, you guys, like I had someone one year, it was when the, what were those brushes called? Not our brush, the Clarisonic. She had just bought a Clarisonic like 2 weeks prior from Ulta. And so I told her that and she did. She went into Ulta or wherever it was and she returned it and she bought ours. And she's like, thank you so much. I saved $150 and it's the exact same thing. So just let them see that savings. And I would present that too. I would say, I'm not, and I try to be sometimes familiar with what other prices are. So I would say, Mary Kay is about a third less than that. So see if you truly like this, I don't want to change you if you love your other product, but if you do like this better, see if they'll take it back and I'll be happy to bring it to you tomorrow. Just something like that. Okay. Too expensive. Someone said too expensive. Yes. What's that? Okay. Someone said too expensive. So that is where we show them the value. So remember last week, did I talk about the Costco example last week? No? Yes. That's what I would share with them is I would say, okay, so here's what you need to know about Mary Kay. It is very much like shopping at Costco. So we go to Costco for what reason? To buy in bulk, right? So we buy, a big thing of asparagus and it might be $8 and maybe Walmart has it for $4, but we're getting 3 weeks worth of asparagus versus one night or whatever. And that's how Mary Kay works. Our cleanser, is $20. However, we are getting, a 6 to 8 month supply there. And also show them this is how much you use. Like the amount that we put on your tray, I didn't jip you. That is the amount that we use. That's how amazing our product is that you don't have to squeeze a bunch out. That little bit is so heavily concentrated that is all that you need. And then also the other cool thing about Mary Kay is that tonight you are buying the roll-up set. So tonight you're making that $199 investment. However, the products are also designed to run out at different times. So you're not going to always be buying $199. You're going to buy a cleanser in 6 months. You're going to buy the day solution in 3 months. You're going to buy your foundation in 7 months. Kind of just depends on how much you use it, but it's going to run out at different times. So it's not going to be a big break on your pocketbook each time. Also, you're going to save money in gas because you no longer have to travel to the store. And you get me, right? Okay. I have at Cody's work, I have all of his employees. They're like seniors in high school, and now they're all on Mary Kay. And they keep flipping out that I deliver. They are flipping out. Like I bring a bag with tissue, and they're like, this is so cool. And they just Venmo me the money. Like they think it's awesome sauce. So know that our delivery is awesome. Okay, what other selling objections do we get? It makes me break out. Okay, so like, are you talking about like in the booking? Yes. Okay, so when we book, have you guys ever had someone say, I tried Mary Kay years ago and it made me break out? Yes. Okay, so this is what you say. You say, awesome, now that they broke out. Awesome, okay. So can I ask you a few questions about that? When you say breakout, was it just little zits like around your face? Or was it like a full blown out hives, you had to take a Benadryl? Most people will say, I had little zits come out. Like people will call it an allergic reaction, but we need to clarify. An allergic reaction is where you break out in hives. And you need Benadryl, okay? So a lot of times people will say allergic reaction. What they mean is I had a zit pop up, okay? So this is what I share with them. So number one, if it was over 15 years ago, 10 years ago, chances are they were either given the wrong formula, because if I use, like during the summer, if I use normal to dry, I will break out. It's too much moisture for me. So they were either given the wrong formula. The second option is that they were clearing out their pores. So have you ever gone and gotten a professional facial done? Like for kicks, if you ever want to do this, it will make you feel like you're wasting your money because you'll see how amazing our products are and how it's the same thing. But when you go and they do like extractions and it's a deep cleanse, it's natural for you to break out the day after because your pores are cleaning themselves out. So you have to remember that Mary Kay, so this is your pore, okay? This is your pore. And there's all this dirt and oil. Most cleansers only take off the surface dirt and oil. Okay, Mary Kay is a deep pore cleanse, so it pulls everything out. Therefore, your skin goes into a little bit of shock for some people. So as you're adjusting, like 1 to 2 weeks, you might get those little pimples, and that is your body working out all the toxins and the dirt. So it's a good thing. So I always tell them that. I was like, I know it's frustrating, but this is better for you in the long run because it's working everything out. Would you give it 2 weeks? And they always say yes, and then they love it, and it's great. But you just have to explain that. And that's where the more you educate yourself, like that makes complete sense when I share that versus like, I don't know why you broke out. Let me tell you why. The other reason too is like sometimes I've had customers who've been on the product and it's awesome. And then all of a sudden they're breaking out around their mouth. And so they'll call me and they're like, Mary Kay's making me break out. And I'm like, okay, well, you've been on the product for a year. So let's figure this out. And like I had one lady, she had just had a hysterectomy. So she was on all these hormones. And so one thing is that whenever it's around your jawline or your mouth, it's always linked to your hormones. Always. And like around your, like this area, hormones. So you'll notice now, like when you get your period, you don't get a zit right here. You get it around your mouth. When you first get pregnant, it's around your mouth. So that is always hormonal, always hormonal. Okay. And then also too, you guys, I mean, sometimes people just won't buy. So I don't want to make it sound like I sit here and just overcome the objections till the cows come home. Like at some point I decide she might be a really high maintenance customer. I don't know if I want her as a customer, you know? So I say, thank you. So it's okay if we're not selling to everybody. It is totally fine. Okay. What other selling objections? Yes. So, you want to see?
If I get a breakout, or like I want to wait a couple days.
Yeah, okay. I would just say, okay, that's awesome. We could totally do that. I'll follow up with you in a few days. One thing I do want you to know, though, is that what skincare line do you use at home? Dove. So Mary Kay does not communicate with Dove on how the ingredients work. So I don't know what the reaction will be. And that's another thing about mixing products too that I'll share. Like if people are like, well, I want to get the cleanser, but I'm going to finish my Clinique moisturizer, I'll say that's probably fine. But one thing I do want you to know is that like with makeup, you can mix and match those as much as you want. That's not going to hurt anything. But skincare is designed to work within the set. And so Mary Kay does not call Clinique and say, hey, Clinique, how's it going? What are you guys putting in your moisturizer this month? Because we'd like to compliment it. Like it just doesn't work that way. And so you could be creating a bad mix on your face. So I always tell people like use up your eyeshadow, that's totally fine, but try to stay within the same skincare line. And some people are just like super freedom and choice people too. So they're going to do what they're going to do. And so I'm just like, you mix that cleanser, girl, go for it. Good luck with that. I mean, I don't say that out loud, but I just think that. Okay. You had one. Oh, the organic. Yes. Okay. California people, take a deep breath. You're in my home state and I love you. No, I like to give them a hard time. Okay, so the people that say, I only use organic. Okay, so this is where you have to be very careful because people are passionate about organic. Like people are, like there are things, like it used to be that we don't talk about politics. Now we don't talk about politics, vaccinations, president, yeah, like gluten, dairy. We don't talk about this stuff anymore. We just don't talk about it. Okay, so here's what I say about the organic stuff. So if I know that someone is coming that's an organic person, and let's say she's like, but I'm going to come because I want to hang out with my friends. I'm going to address it in the group. And I usually do always address it during my skincare class. So I say, here's something that you need to know. The skincare industry is not regulated by the FDA, which is actually kind of unfortunate. Like I think it should be regulated because that means that companies can put whatever they want into their products and you're putting it on your face. Your skin is the largest organ on your body, which means it's affecting your health and it's absorbing into your system. I'm so thankful for a company with integrity like Mary Kay because we have cross checks, side checks. I mean, we have so much testing that goes on to make sure that our products are safe, safe. But here's what you need to know. Because of that, there's no stopping companies from putting the label organic or all natural on a product. Like if Mary Kay wanted to, we could put organic on our bottles. We could put all natural. Here's what you need to know about that. It is virtually impossible to have an organic 100% skincare line unless you are refrigerating it. So think right now about, like my family eats mostly organic. So like when we buy organic bread, buy organic bananas, what happens to it versus non-organic stuff? It rots faster, right? So because of that, if you had something that was 100% truly organic, it's either like dirt from the ground is organic. So if they're putting dirt on their face, then they're good to go. That's awesome. Let them do it. But if it's 100% organic, they'd have to refrigerate it. And I have yet to find a skincare that you refrigerate. I've yet to see it. But we have to be careful. You don't want it to be like I just proved you wrong. You don't want to do that. But you want to be respectful, but also like make that point. And it's good for the people like me. Like if I were outside of Mary Kay, I am that girl that like, if my friend sends me an article on, this sippy cup causes, early cancer or something, I would not use a sippy cup. Like, I am so influenced by my peers. And so, because I'm not always watching all the latest things. So if that car seat's not safe and Audrey sends me a link, then that is the Bible. Like, we're not going to use that car seat. And so it's just so true. And so you go off of what your friends tell you. And so if you have someone that's super passionate about organic and you haven't taken time to research or whatever, like, this is my opportunity to explain to you, this is how the industry works. And that's exactly how it works. So that's what I tell people. And then at the same time, I'm also respectful. Like, if someone wants to use coconut oil, like go you. Yeah. And I mean, it does clog pores, but I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to be like, your eyes are really clogged. But it's just let her do what she's going to, because you'll have a bunch of customers there anyway. So you can't make everyone happy. That's like with my husband and his restaurant. Like, not everyone's going to like it. And you just got to get over it. It's whatever. Okay. What are their selling objections? Are all the organic people okay in the room? Okay. I have to ask my husband. Okay, awesome. I'm going to take Cheryl in the other room. You want to go ahead and give him a call, and I'll put it to the side for you. That's what we do. Yeah, I said, go ahead and give him a call, and I'll put this to the side, and I'll help Cheryl while you're on the phone with him. Yeah, that's what I do. And then if she's like, well, he's not at home, then I know, like, okay. I say, yeah. And I don't do the, like, long time ago, people were like, oh, the he'll never know plan. But my husband would kill me if I did something like that. So I don't like encourage that. So I'm just like, no worries, girl. Like, and I think, you guys, here's the thing. I think that a lot of my success is because I'm chill about these things. Like, I don't get all hung up that you didn't buy from me because your husband said no, because I have 10 million people who are going to say yes, that are going to buy, and so I don't get hung up on these things. Like, it's just, you roll with it. What? Yes, another selling objection. I don't get paid till next week. Okay, awesome. But it does sound like you do want the miracle set. So what we're going to do is I'm going to write this up for you, and I'll take your credit card information down, and then on Wednesday I will drop it off to your office first thing in the morning. Yep. And they're always like, perfect, awesome. Yes, Jessica.
I would love just next week.
So that's where I talk about breaking up the sets. And I'm not anal about, like, I'm not that person that's like, I will not sell you the night solution. So Jessica's saying, like, if someone wants to break up the set, what do you do? So Lily was that girl. And thank God I did not say that to Lily, because Mary Kay would not have Lily anymore. Because Lily would have been like, who do you think you are? Like, and I've seen people at Mary Kay do that, where they're like, we do not break up the sets. They stay together. I mean, Lily bought the most random stuff. And thank goodness, because she ended up, I wasn't a butt about it. I just was like, okay. Yes. Yes, but it won't matter, because Lily used Clinique and she knew more than me.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Yep. She was. Her mommy bought her everything. Her mommy bought her all of her cosmetics. And she was like, oh, my mom buys me. I'll never give her a hard time about that. But she's like, my mommy bought me Clinique. She didn't say mommy, but anyway, that's how I interpreted it. Okay. All right, let's see here. Oh, Linda Chupin's on. She's so funny. Linda is not feeling good, but I really hope you stand for my disc, Linda, because it's really funny. Okay. She said, are all the organic people okay? Okay, what other, selling objections? And tweet me if you have a selling objection you want me to talk about. Yeah. No, I say thank you so much for coming. Yeah, because I don't want to be that, like, scary Mary Kay person. I will not be her. So because I have had people that have done that, and then, like, a week later, you know what? I changed my mind. I do want that Mary Kay. And it was because how I treated her at that appointment. How I treated her. Yes, Trace. Yes. Okay, so she had asked, what if someone just simply says no? Okay, let me check Twitter and see if we have some questions on Twitter. Okay. Yes, I will repeat the questions. Okay. Let's see. Okay, any other sales objections that we can think of? Yes. I have to think about it. Okay, let's talk about that. What are you kind of on the fence about? And then I just kind of go through the conversation. Yeah, let me know what you're on the fence about. Mm-hmm. I really want it, but it's too expensive. So it's sort of how I addressed earlier. I help them see the value in what they're purchasing. I totally understand that. Before Mary Kay, I would have never dropped money on something like a roll-up bag. But here's what I want you to understand is the value in our products. Our cleanser lasts about this long. Our moisturizer lasts about this long. You guys, when I first started, how this all came about is when I first started Mary Kay, I did a paper for my marketing class on a cost analysis, Mary Kay versus Neutrogena. This is how I know this. Per ounce, we are cheaper than Neutrogena. But for a lot of people, they're like, well, that's only $5.99. Do I really want to pay $18? But they're going to be buying it every month. And it also doesn't come with me, who will check your foundation color twice a year and be there for your daughter's wedding and whatever else you need me for, and Christmas gifts and last minute gifts and things like that, okay? The other thing is when you're selling too, the art of the upsell. So, whenever I have a customer, I always have some sort of special going on. So like if I have an order that comes in and she orders like a replacement cleanser, I'll say, hey, by the way, I'm running a special this month where it's, buy one eye makeup remover, get one half off. So, and it's always a different special. It's just whatever I feel like that day. Because maybe she's not, because I know if she gets on the eye makeup remover, she's going to stay on the eye makeup remover. And so if you look at my customer sales, they have gradually increased over time. And I'm not discounting the product. I'm doing like a buy one, get one half off. Does that make sense? I'm not just giving product away. So there's a strategy there. You also could do things like, hey, Mother's Day is coming up. Did you need a gift for your mom or your aunt or anybody when Mother's Day gets closer? We just had Valentine's Day. Do people celebrate St. Patrick's Day? Do you need something? Do you need green eyeshadow to wear to work? Right? Whatever. So just always think about things that are coming up. Okay, let me see if there's any questions here, and then we're going to move on. Yes.
So wait. I was just gonna say.
I don't think it's working.
I was just gonna say.
I'll repeat.
that Any really good customers that I have, it's working now. Any really great customers that I have, what I do is for their gift with purchase, I don't do the little one. I will give them a full size product of something they're not on strategically. And one of my customers, and she's told me this for like 4 or 5 years, that she said, you have literally got me on every product because I know you strategically kept giving me something I wasn't using, and then I fell in love with it.
That's funny.
So I think that it ended up making me more money than actually looking at what I was giving her.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And samples too. Like if you don't want to give a full size, are you putting microderm sample in there or something additional? Thank you, Audrey. Okay, this is a good one, you guys. Testing on animals. Oh, okay. I'm gonna get on my soapbox. This is one I do get kind of passionate about, and I have to rein myself in. Okay? All right. I'm an animal lover. I have a dog, but I need you to hear me out. Okay, here's the deal. Mary Kay in the United States does not test on animals. Okay, we do not test on animals in the United States. This is what happened. We are in China. China, when there is a product, it's almost like a custom. So Mary Kay China does not test on animals, but Mary Kay, the government, not Mary Kay the government, sorry, China the government. Mary Kay should be the government. We would solve so many problems if we took over the White House. Okay. So China the government. Oh my gosh. China the government has this process that before they release an item, they will independently test it on rats, or I don't think they do dogs. I think it's just rats. So they will test it on the rats. Okay. And that is independent. Okay. So the push from companies like PETA and things like this is that because of that, Mary Kay should pull out. And so Mary Kay has been accused of like, you just want it for the money or whatever. This is what I'm going to tell you on the flip side of this. This is the story that you will not hear. And this is where I'm going to get emotional about it. This is what you need to know. When you talk to a sales director at Mary Kay China, which I have, and this is how I know about this, and you ask her, why do you do your business? What motivates you? If you were to ask a sales director in the United States, she would tell you, well, I want to be able to go on vacation with my kids. We'd like to get into a bigger home. We'd like to get a boat. We'd like to get a lake house. You ask a sales director in China, and you know what she tells you? I want to have a baby. Because in China, they have a 2-child limit. And if you get pregnant again, you either have to pay, it's equivalent to $16,000 US, or you have to abort it. And whether you're pro-life or not, wherever side of the fence you stand on that, okay, to me, that there's something fundamentally wrong about that. And so women come into Mary Kay in China because they see it as a way that they can have babies and help their families have babies. There was one Chinese national, we had to have a translator help us, but she sat there and she told me that she was able to have 3 additional children. She was able to pay for her sister to have 2 additional children and a cousin have 2 other children because of Mary Kay. So if Mary Kay were to pull out of China, and you guys, I love animals, but if you put my son or my daughter and a rat in the same room, I think we would all choose our kids, right? Okay, so I just need you to hear me on that. So, and I will share this. Whoever asks, I will share this full story with them because this is how passionate I am about it. The other thing that you need to know is that Mary Kay is investing so much money into lawyers to go and change this law. So while other companies have ran away because they're scared of the people that are like, oh, they just don't whatever, because they don't want to be persecuted, Mary Kay has stayed because number 1, they're doing it for their sales force, and number 2, they're going to change the law. And they're working to fight that, and I do believe it will change. I really do. So that usually shuts down the animal question. So there you have it. So off my soapbox. But to me, that's pretty stinking cool. That's pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, okay. Let's see. What other questions did we have? Someone forgot my wallet. How do you get home? No, if they forgot my wallet, okay, let me go ahead and write up the sales slip for you. Not a problem. And when you get home, just call me and I'll get your credit card information. I can drop it off to you tomorrow. Not a problem. Okay. How do you handle it when you've had them circle the set they love if money were no object, but in reality, money is an object? Okay, so that's kind of what we talked about last week is I'll offer the payment plan. Is I'll say, okay, if money were no object, which one would you pick? Okay, awesome. Do you want to take that home tonight? I can't. I don't get paid till next week. Okay, I can get really creative. Let's do a payment plan with that. And again, I don't do a payment plan on things less than $100. Okay, or what did I say? Less than $100. Yeah. Okay. I want to make sure I'm giving you the accurate information. Okay, so we are going to move on. My voice cannot go out for disc. We really need it for disc. Okay. Okay, I am going to give you simple money management right now. Like very, very simple. There are sales directors that have made amazing programs and ways to do it. And if you are a highly detailed person, we will get you the 2-hour money management video. I'm going to give you 5-minute money management. Does that sound good? Okay, for your Mary Kay business. Okay, so the easiest way that I have found is to have a spreadsheet, and I can post this for you guys. But basically, it's got the weeks, weekly sales before tax, sales tax collected, and then if this applies, another column has a loan payment, and then my earnings. And I will post this so you guys can see it later tonight. And then I have a column for my Mary Kay product order and then a column for my business expenses. So basically, what I also do is virtually, I have 3 business bank accounts. They're all linked together. Now, one thing I did early on is that I needed my Mary Kay bank account to be a different bank than my personal bank. Because 20-year-old Leah, it was very easy to go, oh, well, my Mary Kay account has $1,000 in it. We want to go to Disneyland, so let's just transfer that over and I'll pay it back. And that didn't happen. So there's 2 things that can happen in your business. One is that you embezzle from yourself, which is exactly what I just described. And you guys, if I did that in the real world, I would go to prison. And so that's how serious you need to treat it in your Mary Kay business. I mean, Mary Kay's not going to send you to prison because it's your own company, but this is the pit and the habit that you're getting yourself into. The other one that you could fall into is over ordering. We talked about that, I think, week 1. So we don't order for a goal. The only reason we would do that is if you had the parties to justify it coming up within that week, okay? So the easiest way I've done is 3 bank accounts at a separate bank. So if you bank at Wells Fargo, your Mary Kay account is at Credit Union or whatever, okay? Chase. So, and if you're really disciplined, then you don't have to worry about that. So I get my sales. I have my sales slip. The first thing that I do when I get home is I keep everything in an envelope and that, or my money bag, and that money bag does not go in with me to the store. Like, I'm telling you guys this from experience. Like, I can remember California girls, I would do parties up in Roseville, and then I would make a little detour to Nordstrom Rack with my envelope. And I did that several times, and that got me into trouble. So I tell you from experience because I don't want you to repeat the mistakes that I made. Because then what happens is you deplete your inventory, and then all of a sudden you're like, where is everything? And then you have to get a start order all over again, and that's not good money management, okay? So I would go home, and I would use a highlighter, and I would go into my InTouch, and I would highlight everything that I sold, and I would order that. I would put it in an order. Didn't mean that I ordered it that night. Sometimes I let a couple parties accumulate, and I would order when I had enough to justify the order or whatever. So I would highlight and put that in the order. Then I would go over to my spreadsheet and I would fill it in, and I'll post this for you, but it basically allows for you to put your sales, keep the tax separate. And then if you are paying back your initial loan, so your 50% goes towards replacing the product, and then how you split up the rest of the 50% is up to you. For some of you, it's going to be going towards your initial loan. Some of you, it's business expenses. I really always kept my business expenses very low. So like my director always trained me to do what's called a 60-40. So you would do 50% towards your Mary Kay, 10% towards business supplies, and then 40% was your profit. But for me, I would sell thousands of dollars in a month. So let's say if I sold $3,000, I didn't always need $300 for business expenses. Now, I did if I was saving up for seminar and things like that. And so there would be times that I would budget myself. So once I hit $200 for business expenses, then I would go back to 50-50. Does that make sense? Go back to 50-50. So that's kind of up to you how you do it. This is also a really good thing to hand off to your husband. And for me, that was really good accountability because I couldn't have my stash of money. And so it helped us with our savings goals. Now, I know some of you probably keep completely separate finances from your husband, and that's totally your call. But for me, my Mary Kay was for our family goals. And so if I didn't have him do this, then like sometimes I would be like, oh, I'm going to go get some shoes or whatever. So that's just a little accountability tip there. And then it made my husband also feel more part of my business, okay? So that's the money management, very easy. So Excel spreadsheet, 3 bank accounts. The 3 bank accounts are where you move your money around. So 1 bank account is for your reorders, 1 is for your profit, 1 is for your business supplies. So once you figure it out on here, you deposit and then you transfer everything. Make sense? Into each account. So it's almost like a virtual envelope in a sense. The other thing that I did is I paid myself on alternating weeks. So like if I got paid the 1st and 3rd Friday at my job, Mary Kay would pay me the 2nd and 4th. So every Friday I got a paycheck. And that was really cool because if I had a couple $1,000s in sales over 2 weeks, that was a hefty paycheck versus just $100 from one party. And so when my husband would see that deposit, it would be like, okay, this is kind of legitimate. Do you have a question? So 3 bank accounts are basically what we talked about. It's going to be your reorder, your profit, and then your business supplies. Business supplies / like travel for seminar and stuff too. And then what you would do, like if you were paying back initial investment, like let's say you're doing 10% towards your loan, instead of putting that 40%, you would do 30%, and then I would immediately put the 10% towards my credit card or whatever it was on. Yes. They charge you a fee? Wells Fargo. So we need to change banks. Change banks. What are they charging? Capital One 360 does not. What are they charging you a fee for? Transferring money? You need to switch banks. Switch them. And credit unions are always good too. We always have done credit unions. They don't have fees, I don't feel like. They do? Well, ours doesn't. What's wrong with these banks? Seriously. Okay, there are better banks. Go Google better banks. We'll figure it out. Yes, Jessica, did you have a question? Yeah, so when I make the deposit, it all goes into I'll put it in just a one account and then I'll just transfer them all amongst it. But I'm like looking at my spreadsheet, like everything's got a balance on the spreadsheet. Mm-hmm. No, I don't. I don't use ProPay to do my reorder. I transfer it all to the bank account. Yeah, because that's just another thing for me to track, and I can't do that. Not a math person. Okay. So that's my simple. And again, some of you, like, I get it. Some of you might be like, Leah, this is not enough detail. You're not accounting for the Roth IRA and whatever. Like, I get it. There are directors
who are super passionate about that and make it, but this is just what has worked, and it's been good discipline. So it's worked. They've got it down. I hire those people. Okay. We have an LLC. Yeah, we have an LLC. And so and for tax stuff, like you got to talk to your tax person. I'm not a good tax person. Like I have a guy, I pay him, he tells me what to do. So, and my husband knows this stuff. So, yes. Yeah, I didn't do it until a few years ago. A few years ago, I became an LLC. So, but I would just, each year you get your taxes done, because you might be maybe your husband makes a ton of money and you need to set that up. So I would just ask your tax person what would be the best thing for us financially to do. And they'll guide you the right way. Okay, I got a question. What about people that object to Mary Kay because of testing on animals as a whole? Oh, I addressed that already. Okay. Yes, if you do get charged a bank fee, they are tax deductible. But there are better banks. # better banks. # no fees. Okay. And also too, like if you I know because my husband, we bank at Wells Fargo, and because we bank for his business, they give us some perks for so the times if you bank at the same place, so it might be better to bank at the same place. But I know we get free something. I don't know. I should have had him do this part, you guys. Sorry. He could tell you. Okay, so that is my simple 5-minute money management. Okay, but I also want to encourage you to self-educate. Cody and I, we didn't come from parents who necessarily taught us about taxes or taught us about all this stuff. And so we always had to figure it out. So don't let that be your reason. Don't let it be I don't know how to manage my Mary Kay money. I choose not to know how to. So for me, if you were to give me a book on money management, my eyes would roll back into my head. And so instead, for Leah, what works is a simple worksheet that Ari Hathaway created. And I will give it to you all, okay? And to me, and Ari is very smart when it comes to numbers. So if Ari created it, then we can use it, okay? It's just it's very simple. It has 4 columns, and I can work with that, okay? Another thing you can do with your receipts, I know Linda's got this fancy receipt app. Maybe she can tweet it for us that she uses. It's like a Quicken, or does anyone know? It's for her QuickBooks. For me, what I've always done, and that's I'll eventually probably transfer to that, but for me, what's worked right now is that I have 12 manila folders, and each one is marked with the month, and I just shove receipts in a folder. Linda's got an awesome system. Yeah, so, but again, remember, I'm the piler, not a filer, so that's what's happening. Okay, so, and it works out, and I will say, I am the girl that's in her pajamas for 4 hours doing my taxes every year, but that works for me. That works for me. There's some people that will work for me. So you do you, okay? You do you. If the apps work and you do it, do it. Just get it. Just make sure you pay your taxes. That is the bottom line. If we all do that, we're good. We're good. Okay, I'm going to move on now. Okay, so that is money management. Okay, so we are going to talk about team building, and then we're going to hop into DISC training, which we're all very excited about. Who in this room, how many of you have seen my DISC training before? Okay, raise your hand if you haven't seen it. Okay, this is going to be really fun. Okay, good. And those of you that have seen it, it changes every year. You never know what you're going to get. You never know what you're going to get. Okay, team building. Team building is a layering process. I see so often that people will get discouraged because she didn't join my team, and I just knew that she would. And my question to you is how many times after that you asked did you actually follow up with her? And here's the other thing too, is I've seen people that have all their eggs in this one basket. She's going to sign, and then she does it, and then you drop them, and they're not even a customer. You guys, I could tell you so many stories about people that were on their product for years as a customer, and then finally they decide, this is the right time for me. I'm going to do this. I'm going to become a consultant. But if their consultant cuts off that and severs those ties, there's no opportunity there. So when someone tells you, this is not the right time or no or whatever, this is not a death sentence. We don't need to run away from them. Service them as a customer, thank them for their opinion, ask them to be a great talent scout. Hey, you might know someone. That would be good at doing what I do. Keep that in mind next time you're, at work or whatever. And I'd love for you to be a talent scout for me. But for the most part, you guys, people need multiple times of layering. Stephanie Coker, how many times did I say it was with her? 3 times, 4 times. Lily Gotro was a few times. Crystal was 9 times, you guys. My offspring, Crystal Trojanowski, 9 times. And she's a national in Mary Kay. And she like laughed at me the first time. She was like, I'm an esthetician. That's what she said. I'm an esthetician. And she flipped her hair. I was like, well, I drive a pink Cadillac. Okay. The other thing is that, okay, so a few things. Your recruiting average. So the company recruiting average is about 1 in 4, 1 in 5. And this is where knowing your numbers is really important. I'm going to give you a couple of tips on things that I really believe have helped me get to a 98% recruiting average.
Yes, girl.
So Leah Carr does personally recruits my personal, so not who my unit brings me, but if I were to recruit, I have a 98% recruiting average. Would you like to know what I do? Yes. Okay. The first thing, and this is so flip-flopped from how I used to do things. So when I came into Mary Kay, I was of the mindset of ask anybody, anyone that's breathing, if it's your dog, your cat, you're going to recruit them, ask everybody. And that really exhausted me. And now I'm not saying that there are people that will write down C and they end up being an A, like we talked about, right? But instead, I really started to distinguish what a dream team was to me. And I decided to get picky. So if I had a woman at a party who the entire party, it's her victim story and how life is horrible and she's not even going to bother with it and blah, 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 and all this stuff. Like before 10 years ago, I would have tried to recruit her. And you guys, it would have been a waste of time. It would have been a waste of time. And so instead, let me keep her as a customer and love on her, and hopefully my Mary Kay influence will rub off on her. But let me talk to this woman over here who just said that she's, really stressed at her job and would like to see more income coming in or whatever. And so that's the first thing, is that I don't ask everybody. I don't. I'm very specific. And I think that does a couple things to it. Also singles them out and makes them feel important. So if I'm at a party, I might at the end say, hey, Tracy, this is going to sound so crazy, and you're actually the only person I'm saying this to tonight. You're actually the only person I'm saying this to tonight. What did I just do? Singled her out, made her feel important. But here's the deal. I'm just watching how you interact with everyone tonight, and you are so outgoing, life of the party. And I know that you mentioned that your daughter's about to go into preschool and how you can't pick her up after school and how that's like breaking your heart. And I'm just sitting here going, gosh, Mary Kay would be the perfect opportunity for you. And I know right now that might not be like, oh, no, never. But here's the thing. I really think we should get together for coffee. And let me tell you a little bit more about what I do. Would you be open to that? Okay, awesome. So it's personalized. Like this is the only thing in Mary Kay I cannot give you a script for, because it comes from my heart. So a couple things. One is be choosy. The second thing is you make this about them and not about you. Oh, you guys, I get it. I know what it's like. There are some of you in this room that you're like, Leah, hurry up and shut up because I am finishing DIQ and I need to get home tonight and call some people. And I know there's people watching. My sister-in-law is one of them. She's not thinking for me to shut up, but she's like inches away from DIQ, you guys, like a breath away. And so I get that feeling of like, I don't care who you are. I just need 8 to join my team. But in the big picture, we want a team of champions. We want a team of champions. I don't want a team where I have to talk you into getting active, or I have to talk you into holding a party, or I have to talk you into doing your training. Because to me, I want women that are assertive, women that are self-sufficient, or that at least are willing to learn how to be that way. Like even if they don't already have that, like there are women that have the grit and the desire that they want that. And that's who I want. You could be unskilled, you could be unmotivated, whatever, but as long as you are willing to learn and there's a hunger for you to learn, I want you. I want that. And so be picky about the women on your team, because that is where you get the Stephanie Cokers, that's where you get the Lilies, that's where you get the Crystals, that's where you get the Britneys. That is why I have amazing women on my team, is because I was very, very picky. Okay. Always recruit close to the product. I can't stress that enough. You are going to have in a blue moon, and I'm standing here as an example of it, someone who recruits without trying the product. I recruited myself. Wouldn't y'all love to get a call from me? Hi, I'd like to join your team. My name is Leah Carta. I know you don't know me, but I'd love to join your team. I haven't had anyone do that, I don't think, ever. But anyway, so there are always going to be an exception to the rule. But for the most part, if you guys are having people onto these Peek into Pinks and you're having people come to a marketing event without even trying the product, you are missing a step. They need to fall in love with the product and the process. They fall in love with the product and the process, and then the hope they see along the way. They fall in love with the product and the process and the hope they see along the way. And so here's the thing. is that if you are just throwing up Mary Kay on them, their first objection is going to be, I've never tried the product before. But if you had already had them in front of the product and trying it, and so that's why if I ever do have someone that reaches out to me, like I've had people from high school that see me on Facebook, and so they'll be like, I want to know about this Mary Kay thing. And so I literally will say, like, let's get together for a party so you can actually see it in action before I will ever recruit them. Because otherwise, she's not going to understand the process. She's not going to see the importance of inventory. She's not going to see the importance of being consistent. She's not going to see the importance of putting a smile on my face and why I wear a skirt and a dress. And let's sidestep for a minute and talk about that. Okay, so because there's a lot of new people. So let me give you like Mary Kay Etiquette 101, okay? Like, I know a lot of you are in Go Give, and so let's pretend like I'm your national right now for just a second, okay? Okay, so first and foremost, we always wear a skirt or a dress to a meeting, to a party, always. And the reason why is that Mary Kay asked us to, plain and simple. She asked us to, she wanted us to look classy. And you guys, there is a difference. Like, think about it. When I go out for the day and I'm in jeans and a t-shirt, I can rock it, I can look cute, but I carry myself differently when I'm in a skirt or a dress. I look professional. I stand out. Every time we go to leadership or seminar, we'll always wear a skirt or a dress on the plane. And you guys, there's not been one trip that's gone by where a pilot or an airline person or someone didn't say, who are you guys with? And then we'll say Mary Kay, and they'll say, that makes sense. Always. Always. Okay? That's the first thing. The second thing is that we don't drink at events. Ever. So if your hostess is having mimosas, I don't go like, oh, we don't have alcohol at Mary Kay events because that's her party. Okay, I'm not going to tell her that. But I am not going to drink a mimosa with them. What would happen to you at your work if your boss came to your desk and you're sipping a mimosa? I mean, some of you, maybe your bosses are like, I want one too. But I mean, like, you don't drink at your job. You don't drink at your job. You just don't. And then the other thing is too, is that if you're having an event at a training center or whatever, and you're putting out alcohol and you don't have a liquor license, like that is like, you guys, liability screaming through the roof. I've heard of consultants sometimes doing like a mimosas and makeovers with cold leads that they don't know. Like, you guys, it's one thing. If it's your mom and your family, serve the mimosas, like go for it. But if it's people you don't know and someone comes and they're 20 and not 21, and then on the way home, they get in a car accident and kill someone, and you serve someone who is not, I mean, there's so much liability there that it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Okay. So that's my alcohol stance. All right. Let me go through the list. The other thing is whenever you're at an event, so career conference coming up, whenever Mary Kay Ash speaks, we always stand up and applaud. Always. Whenever a national is done with her speech, you stand up and applaud her. And you guys, here's the thing, like, it kills me. We have, and I'm Leah Carter, a consultant. Sometimes I forget them a national, but I look at some of our nationals, like some of you are new, but we have some stinking legends in our company, like legends. And we need to honor them. They have paved the way for us. Like everything that I have taught you, money management, team building, I have learned at the feet of these women. And we need to give them the utmost respect and honor. And so every time they are done speaking, we stand up, we applaud. And you guys, I remember as they would come out, and that line takes forever, I know, when we're coming out on stage. But we stand and we applaud them and we thank them. One thing that I love that Yvonne Lemon does with her national area, so my national area, we're going to start doing this, but they write like thank you notes to nationals after seminar that were speakers. Just thank you for preparing and taking time to do that. And so I always get notes from her area. It's so awesome. But just honoring those women because they really have gone before us and done amazing things. Linda Tupin told us, okay, the app is tied to an online service, small monthly charge. She used QB for, now she's abbreviating QB. Oh. That's like, she's unicorning me. Used QuickBooks for 25 years. So QB stands for QuickBooks. Used a simple ledger prior to the QB, again, abbreviation similar to Sheet. Okay, so yes, that's what it is. It's tied to the online. She did a picture. It's a QuickBooks app. Okay, got it. Thank you, Linda. Linda's very techie. She's the one that did you guys know that she's responsible for the hashtag MyMKLife? That was Linda Tupin. And now we're at like 500,000 or something like that hashtags. It's insane. Okay. Let's see here. Knowing their needs and what motivates them needs to be your recruiting formula. So another thing that I would do is I used to sit there and I would go through the whole marketing plan. And we have to remember that at the party, we've already done that. at the party. And so again, if we're doing this in the proper order, they've been to a party. And so I've done that at the end of the party. So my appointment with her is not to revisit the marketing plan. It's to figure out how is Mary Kay going to be a good fit for you. And so I'll say, hey, when I went over the marketing plan at the party, tell me what was going through your head, what stuck out to you the most. And if she says, I was really interested in earning a free car, I'm not going to talk about freedom and flexibility. And some of you that are so dang passionate about these things, you go off on these tangents. And so another thing I want to tell you is that the person during this appointment that speaks the least wins. So you should leave having had her talk 80% of the time. And if you can do that, my friend, you have won, and she will sign. It's amazing how people can talk themselves through to a decision if you just shut up. Okay? And so let her talk. So I would ask questions like, what would be the best thing that would happen if you started this business? Like a year from now, what would be the best case scenario for you? And then what would be the worst case scenario for you if you started this business? And there's always like, well, I'd have extra money and I'd have more confidence and I'd make some new friends. There's always positives. Let me see. We're going to get into objectives after DISC because I think we need an energy break here in a minute. Okay. Let me see what else I want to cover. So it's a very natural conversation is my point. Like I'm trying to just think of other conversations I've had, really getting to know them. Like, if there's someone in their heart is in missions, I'll say, when was the last time you went on a mission trip? Well, I get to go maybe once every 3 years because it's hard to raise the funds. Well, what if we could figure out how Mary Kay could play a role in that? Like how much do you need to go on a missions trip? And I always have paper with me. So I pull out a piece of paper. Well, I need about $3,000. Okay, great. $3,000. And Mary Kay, in order to profit $3,000, we need to sell $6,000. We average about $100 per person in Mary Kay. Let's be conservative for you. Let's say that you're brand new and you're nervous and this doesn't happen, but let's just say that your average is $50 per face. Like I'll make a worst case scenario for them. Okay. So 50 into 6,000 is how much? I don't do math. They don't do 12. 120. Thank you. It's 120 faces is what it comes down to. If they're averaging $50 per person and they need to make 3,000, it's 120 faces. Thank you, Tracy. Someone said 12,000. I'm like, it is not that many faces. 12,000 faces will get you to national sales director. Whoever said that's the number. Okay. 12,000 faces equals NSD. Okay. But anyway, so then 120 faces. And then how many would that be per month? And so, gosh, what I'm hearing you say, Tracy, is that every 3 years you get to go. But with what we figured out, you could do this every 6 months if you wanted to. Would that excite you? Would that make you feel fulfilled and fulfill your calling in life? Awesome. Okay. So you help her find a need and you fill it. Maybe she wants more time with her kids. Okay. What would that look like to you? Tell me like your schedule now and what you would need to make that happen. And so you just ask lots of questions to figure that out. And you guys, here's the thing is that sometimes they're still going to say no. Remember, I'm not 100%, I'm 98%. So occasionally I have people say no to me, but usually they come back and say yes the next day because I ask them, I say, please go home and do what I call the pink pillow test. And what that means is I want you to go home, and if you find yourself thinking about this and the what ifs, please just go for it. Please just go for it. It's $100 that could potentially change your life. And I tell them, like, look at what you're wearing right now. Your outfit is so cute. I bet if I were to add up the price of how much your hairstyle costs, the dye, the cut, the color, the makeup you currently have on, your shirt, your cute boots, your jeans, your handbag, your wallet, I bet it's all over $100. And here's the thing. If we were to take a picture right now, 5 years from now, we would not care about our outfits. We might even chuckle a little bit at the style. That comes and goes, right? But this is $100 that could change your life. And it's interesting how when we always invest in things that really aren't going to change our lives. And so I want you to really focus on the what if, what you shared with me. And if not, like Tracy, if this is not for you, I'm just thankful that you'll be my customer. You clearly understand how a small business works now. And so I want to thank you for supporting my small business because you're changing my family's life. Just very simple. And I keep her as a customer. That's what I see, you guys. I see consultants that like almost feel like ashamed that they said no, and so you don't follow up with them. Keep her as a customer. That is your other source of income. This is like split up here. We have our customers and we have our team members. It is not one or the other. You need to have a perfect balance. Perfect balance is your goal. Like if you're recruiting a ton and you're not a star consultant, I'm concerned. Honestly, I'm concerned. There's something broken in the chain. If you're selling a ton and you don't have anyone on your team, I'm concerned. Now, for those of you that are doing that, I want to open your eyes to a new thought, and don't get mad at me. Whose dream are you killing by being too scared to say something? The worst skincare class of my life was 9 years ago. I was a Cadillac sales director. I was driving to this party. Did I tell this story week 1? No. Okay. Driving to this party, and it was one of those bad days, you guys. The sun was really bad in California. Have you ever had the sun glare so bad that you have to drive really slow because you can't see? It was like that. So I'm already late to this party. It was in a really nice neighborhood. It was all nurses. Leah Carta sells a ton to nurses. Nurses buy a lot of product from me. It's like my thing. So anyway, I get to this house, Mercedes, nice cars. This is going to be $1,000 party. I know it's going to be $1,000 party. I walk in and everyone is drunk. And there are nice drunk people, and then there are mean drunk people. And these were mean drunk people. So I start the party, and I'll never forget this one girl. It was very random, but I'm like having them do the microderm, and she's like walking around me eating broccoli. Very random. Like she's eating broccoli, and she's like cackling at the product, and she's like a vulture circling me. So that was like weird. So that's happening. And then the other women are like, my face is burning. This is hot. Mary Faye, like they're taking Mary Kay and rhyming it with different words because they're drunk. Like Mary Faye, ha ha ha, Mary Pay, ha ha, like just like it didn't make any sense. And then there's this other girl who's sitting in the corner, and she's really uncomfortable because she's really embarrassed for me because her friends are being turds. Okay, so they have microderm on their face, and I might have been PMSing a little bit that day too. And I just made an executive decision, and it's not something I'm proud of, but I did. I decided that if Mary Kay Ash were alive, that she would not want these women to even have the product on their faces. And so with microderm on their face, I ended the party. And I said, that concludes our party today. Thank you all for having me. It was like 8 minutes into the class. And so I start packing up my car, and I'm really mad. Really mad. And I'm a Cadillac director, but I'm really mad. I just wasted hours away from my husband. I have an hour drive back home, maybe an hour and a half with traffic. I forgot to download my audiobook, nothing to listen to, and I'm not happy. So shoving things into the car, I come back in for the last load, and that girl is there. And there's something in me that goes, you need to go talk to her. And I said, no, God, I'm not going to talk to her because these people were jerks. Thank you. Goodbye. Amen. Goodbye. Goodbye. So I go get in the car. I get in the car. And again, you need to go talk to her. So I go back in, and I walk up to her. And I remember like it was yesterday. And I said, listen, I'm really sorry about this party. This is not how I envisioned it. It's not how it normally goes. And she's like, no, I'm sorry. They were so out of hand, and I feel so bad. You drove all this way. I'm so sorry. And I said, listen, and I'm like laughing when I'm saying this, I really think that you should do what I do. I think I should tell you more about what I do. Would you meet with me for coffee? And here's the side part of that, you guys. There's so much power in knee-to-knee, toe-to-toe. You guys, I love technology. I embrace technology. I use technology. But if someone is within an hour to 2 hours of me, I drive to them. She lived an hour away from me. So I said, are you free tomorrow? Could I come meet you for coffee? So I went home. I drove all the way back. To those of you that live in California, it was from Fairfield to the depths of Roseville. And so I went to the fountains, met her at the fountains, and we met at a Starbucks. And we sat there, and she told me her story. And her story was that her wedding was 5 months away. She was really excited, but they were going to have a credit card wedding. And if you don't know that term, that basically means that you charge everything on random credit cards, you get married and hope for the best. What a way to enter a marriage. And so she had plans to put $20,000 to $30,000 on credit cards to pay for her wedding. And so when she heard the Mary Kay opportunity, she thought, this could be the way that we pay for this wedding. So she signed her beauty consultant agreement, came as a Ruby Star consultant, and we had her very first party. And her first party, I think she sold like $500 or $600. And 45 minutes late walked in a girl with an 8-month-old baby. And you could just tell she is stressed. She is stressed. She is irritated. The baby's fussy, wouldn't try the product, whatever. I sit down with her, wouldn't buy the product because she's an esthetician. I liked her though. And so I told the consultant, I said, we need to follow up with her. So we followed up with her again and again and again. And of course, you guys all know that's National Sales Director Crystal Trojanowski. However, the consultant from the worst party of my life where I sold nothing and I lost gas money is Senior National Sales Director Brittany Capps. Now, here's where the story gets better. So Brittany Capps gets married. Within 4 months of starting her business, she is able to make profit, you guys, $20,000 for her wedding. Pays cash for her wedding. Goes on her honeymoon. Comes back, becomes a pink Cadillac sales director. She moves to Alabama. I still live in California. She finds out that I'm moving to Texas. So her husband gets a job opportunity. He can either go to Denver or Dallas. And she said, Cody and Leah are moving to Dallas. We're going to Dallas. And so we were going to move a year after them. So they came to Dallas. So it was on June 30th. And those of you know, June 30th is a very significant day in Mary Kay. On June 30th, it's our year end. It's a very busy day. June 30th, 4 years ago? 4 years ago? It'll be 4 in June. I get a phone call at 5:30 in the evening, and Brittany is sobbing. And something is not right. And she said, Leah, I just found out my husband has been having an affair. And so I said, come to my house right now. So she drove to my house, and as things started to unravel, we found out that her husband, who we all loved and adored, and basically had another family, like he had gotten another girl pregnant. And it was absolutely devastating. And I sat there with Brittany at year end as she sobbed and sobbed and sobbed, 90 pounds overweight, probably, just so upset. Thank God for Mary Kay, because she had some hope. And so the marriage dissolved, and Brittany took what she had learned in Mary Kay, all of the emotional management where, I remember one day going over to her house. I probably needed more emotional management than she did. There was one day I took a Sharpie and went and put mustaches and devil horns on all the wedding pictures around their house. I was so mad one day. I don't think I've ever told anyone that, but I did do that. She was going to throw them out anyway, and I wanted her to laugh. So I literally went around to all the photos, and I did bad faces on them. It wasn't a very Christian thing of me to do, but anyway, okay. But I saw her go take all the training. And when I say training, you guys, I don't mean how to book a party. I mean, how to pick yourself up when life has literally kicked the crap out of you. And I saw her apply everything that she had learned in Mary Kay to her life. And you guys, she lost 90 pounds. She looks incredible. She is engaged to a wonderful man. They're getting married in 2 months. And the confidence in Brittany, anyone who knew her, as long as I've known her, she's a completely different woman. And I remember when she was debuting as a national sales director, I got really emotional with her. And I said, I don't want this to come out the wrong way, but I'm sad that he's putting aside all the bad stuff that happened. I'm sad that he's not here, because I always thought that he would be a part of this. And, my husband and I were very close with him. So I said, aside from all the bad stuff, I'm sad today. And she said, Leah, I'm not, because had that not happened, I wouldn't have become a national sales director. It took that to make me into the woman that I am today. And that was very eye-opening for me. And so you guys, she will always say, if she were up here standing talking to you, she would tell you, what would I have done had it not been for Mary Kay? What in the world would I have not, what would I have done? And you guys, all of that came from the worst party I ever had. Now, financially, if we want to talk about that, my $0 party. So when you're a national sales director, Mary Kay gives you a $10,000 bonus per Offspring National Sales Director per year. So I have 3 Offspring Nationals. So actually this month, thank you, Lily Gautreaux, this month I will get an additional $10,000 in my bank account. Lily has over 30 years with the company. That's $300,000 in just bonuses, not commissions, just that one bonus. So between Brittany and Crystal, over $700,000 in bonuses, almost $1 million from the worst party of my life. I think it turned out okay. So my message to you is that nothing comes back void. Nothing comes back void. So it's all about your attitude. And you guys, I wish I could sit here and told you I had the most positive attitude that day. I had a really bad attitude, but I have incredible bounce back ability. That would not have stopped me. I would have gotten up the next day and I would have gone and done it again and again and again and again, because I have great bounce back ability. So that is what you need. I want to give you permission to be sometimes. It's totally fine. But we got to have good bounce back ability. Okay. I have to set up for our next segment. So we are going to take a 7-minute break. And then we're going to come back and we're going to have a ton of fun. You guys ready? Yes. Okay. All right. And no one leave. Don't go home. Okay, so I think we need 2 chairs, and then we just need to make sure the camera's good. Ooh.
Here, we just put them right here.
Yeah. We're just taking a little break.
So
Okay, we're gonna come back in like 2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning. Are you guys happy that the weather's getting warmer finally? So cold. That's a cute dress. Very cute. It was really unbearably cold. So cold. I'm okay with the rain. You're not okay with the rain? Okay. Oh, yeah. But maybe the zoo will be less crowded. Wear a poncho. Pivot. Got to pivot. See, I'm an introvert, so I always look for opportunities where it's not going to be crowded. So I would go on a rainy day to the zoo. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I think I only give you guys 4 minutes, but there's something else I wanted to add on too, you guys. I want to add this on. So I think I need to go over here more. Okay.
Oh, yeah. You're probably gonna have to. You may have to.
Do I need to sit down right now, John? I'm fine standing up. Okay. So here's something else that I want to add is that if you have someone that's still on the fence after your sharing appointment, here's something else really powerful that you can do. Because here's the thing is there's a thing called outside noise. So like if I'm trying to join, if I want to join Tracy's team and I'm on the fence and then I go home, most likely what will happen is my dad will be like, oh, you can't do that. Your Aunt Susan did that and it was horrible or whatever. And I think people like that with anything, you guys, with anything. Like you want to go to a restaurant, people break because they don't know. And it's not, your dad's not a bad person. It's just that he's not educated on what is really going on. That was my grandpa. My grandpa was not educated on what Mary Kay was. And so he had this stereotype opinion about it. So here's what I would encourage you to do is whenever you leave, you say, hey, do you have Instagram? And they probably have Instagram. And so I would say, listen, I want you to write down this hashtag #MyMKLife. What I love about this is this is an everyday women in Mary Kay. This is not someone hiding behind a blog. It's not someone making a YouTube video to up their subscriber count. It is literally you and me, everyday women and their experiences. And I just have them go through that because here's the thing is, especially if you're like a top director or, you know, higher up in Mary Kay, a lot of times I'll battle, like the objections that I get is, well, you're super confident and you're, you know, I could never do this. And so, because they paint me in this light that I wasn't when I started. And so I like that hashtag, thank you, Linda Chupin, because it also shows them everyday women from, oh my gosh, I sold a mascara and a lip gloss. My husband and I are going to the movies tonight. I mean, stuff like that to, you know, I'm home with my baby and I've been able to replace my income. So there's variety on there and I love that. And that hashtag speaks volumes about our company. I love it because it's real time. It's constantly going and it's awesome. So utilize the MyMKLife hashtag and hopefully you're utilizing it too. Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Am I ready? I am ready.
Okay.
Before we get started,
she does this she's your stinker.
So this is, you guys, don't y'all just so appreciate her? Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
But seriously, we appreciate your time and your energy
You're
and
welcome.
your brain and your family's time too, because we know this is a lot of time that your kids and Cody sacrificed too. So we got you a little
Thank
something and we appreciate
Thank
you
you.
and we love you
Thank
and
you.
we're very grateful.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Love you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
She sneaks in every time. You want me to open it?
Open it.
Okay. Is it cookie?
I would have got that for myself.
Oh my goodness. So Lincoln's favorite restaurant is Uncle Julio's. He calls it Don Willio's. Oh, he's going to love this. Thank you. It's his absolute favorite, Don Willio's. He'll be excited. And then Evie said, thank you.
So use it for like, you know, reflexology.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I will. Thank you, friends. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. So nice. Okay. All right. So Tracy, let's sit down and I'm going to go ahead and prompt them a little bit here. Okay. So here's the disclaimer. The disclaimer is, those of you who have not seen this before, is that whatever happens, I am not going to offend you. We are agreeing this, okay? So I need you to know in the voice that you're telling in your head, your director did not call me and say, that's exactly how she is, okay? So maybe it was just like God wanted to have a divine moment with you and you need to hear something. So really quickly, and if you're at a hub right now, I also want you to change up your position a little bit. So if you're all like on a couch, like I want you to move around, but I want you to sit in the groups according to your results. So you guys all should have done your personality is showing, okay? And hopefully you have it with you. So in this room in Hub Hosts, you can organize this in your house or your training center, wherever you're at. But what I would like is if your column item total was highest in the first column, I want you to sit on the far left, my left, your right. So if column 1 was your highest total, sit over here. If column 2 was your highest total, sit here. If column 3 was your highest, sit here. And if column 4 was your highest, sit here. And if you had a tie, just pick one. Or ask your director if she's here. Okay, so switch it up. You're a 1, right? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, this is perfect. I know, yes. Okay, so column 1 over here, column 2, column 3, column 4. Okay, we need to make this faster. Right here. Okay, so switch it up. Switch it up.
That's so funny.
Okay, where are you guys divided at? No, I know, but where does 2 end? You're 1? Are you 2? You're 2. Okay, I just need to know the dividing here. Okay, and then where do we divide here? Okay, and you guys are all 4s. This could not be more perfect. Okay. All right. This is so perfect. Okay, are you guys ready? Okay. All right, and if you're confused, that's okay too. All right, so tonight okay, people in row 2, I need you to chill. This is so perfect. Okay, we are going to do personality training, which is also known as DISC. Now, I could sit here, and so basically everyone has a personality trait, and this is the one that I'm talking about is not one that you're born with. So some of us have DNA traits that we're born with. This is how your personality is perceived and shines to others, okay? And the reason why it's important to know this in Mary Kay is that you need to learn how to communicate effectively with other people, okay? So you're broken up into your different personalities. So for example, this group, I'm going to teach you how to communicate with this group, okay? Because right now, communicating how you communicate it's not reaching them. And so we're going to talk about how to recruit those people, how to sell to those people, and how to work with those people, okay? So the way that I do this that I found that sticks the most is I'm not going to give you like a bullet point list of this is what this person does. I'm going to act it out. So I have gone to Hollywood, taken acting, and act it out. It is an exaggerated version. And that is to prove, that's like show you, that's where I don't want you to get offended. Okay. It's very exaggerated, but it's just to prove a point. Okay. So the setting is that I am meeting Tracy. Do we want to do that? You're my sales director, or you're trying to recruit me, or what? What do we want to do?
I'll just be your director.
Okay. So she's going to be my director, and we're getting together for a goal setting appointment. Okay. And some of you, this is going to ring really true, okay? And so after, we're going to do 4 different segments, and after each segment, I'm going to break down and tell you. So the first group that I'm going to be addressing is this group over here, who is the highest column in column 1. So if your highest total was column 1, I'm about to take my stage. We're going to be you, okay? So I have to walk because I have a couple of props and things like that. So we're going to begin. Are you guys ready? I need to do, re, mi, fa, sol, la. Okay. Get my little acting. Okay.
Into character.
You know what's interesting is after this pace sitters, I'm always down like 4 pounds. And I think it's because of this whole thing that we did. Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Listen, I'm only going to be gone like 10 minutes. It's 10 minutes. You can change a diaper. Deal with it. I don't care. I don't care what your mom says. She's not me. I'm your wife. Deal with it. It's a diaper, Cody. Put it on. You've done this many times before. Okay, listen, after you do that, there's a list on the fridge. I'm so sorry. Just 1 second. 1 second. Okay. Could you get me like a coffee or something? Thank you. Okay. I'm so sorry. He does this every time I have an appointment. I need coffee. Tracy, coffee. Go. Okay. And I'm not going to pay you because you make commission off of me. So just go get a coffee. Okay. Yes. Okay. The bottles, okay, I will talk slower. The bottles are on top of the fridge. Yes, honey, yes. Honey, I need you to focus. Do I need to come home and handle this? Because I probably can handle it better right now. Yeah, okay, all right. Yeah, I do love you. I really do love you, but I need you to get it together. Okay, all right. I will talk to you later. Bye. I'm so sorry.
Hey, that's okay. I'm so excited to see you today.
Good. Okay, so here's the deal. I can only stay for about 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. This will be a really quick goal setting chat then. So
okay,
we're really
awesome.
close.
You know what? So actually,
okay.
I knew we were going to be talking about goal setting, and so I wanted to give you some suggestions on how I think the unit meetings should be ran from here on out.
Oh.
So a few things is there's the pom-poms just look really unprofessional. Like we need to take the pom-poms out. If you're going to have pom-poms, make them like neutral colors, maybe like a black or a gray.
So you don't like pink?
No, not really, no. And then I also think that we could really do without like the social time. Like if you did that, we would save so much time. Like if we could just get to our topics and just like, ABC, this is what you got to do to make $1 million, go.
Okay.
That would benefit me quite a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the culture in our company is something that's really
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I am in a meeting. Please deal with this. You've got this. Thank you. Oh my God. gosh. Do you know what happened today? I got an award at my job because I'm kind of a big deal.
You did. Tell me about that award.
I did. Well, you know, I don't want to brag or anything, but I am top of my company right now.
Okay.
I'm a junior partner. I've really worked my way up. And, you know, I'm very proud of myself and everything I've accomplished in my life.
You should be proud of yourself.
Yes.
That is
Yes.
awesome. So tell me what you're going to accomplish by Wednesday at midnight.
Yes. Oh, in Mary Kay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing about Mary Kay is I think it's super cute, everything you guys do, but I think that there should be a submission process where I can just write Mary Kay a letter and tell them like, listen, I'm legit. I'm a leader. I'm a national. Like, I don't mean to be rude to you, Tracy, but like the way that I would train would be quite better than how you train.
Okay.
Yes.
Maybe I could give you some time at the meeting tomorrow night and you could train.
I would love that.
You would?
I would probably transform your entire unit. You would not just be a trip director. You would be a national if I were leading your unit.
Well, let's go, baby.
Yeah,
Come on.
Absolutely. Yes. 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 Oh my gosh. Do you see that woman over there? Her child is screaming and she's not even doing anything about it.
How rude.
Seriously. She's should I go say something?
No, you should
Maybe
not.
I should say something. I'm going to make a tweet about this. People control your people.
Do you have kids
It's
yet?
just, I mean, it's no courtesy there. You know,
Yeah.
she needs to read a parenting book is what she needs to do.
What book would you
Seriously.
suggest?
I don't know. I would find one for her though. Seriously. Because I've read them all. I'm an extraordinary parent.
I believe that.
I am.
You know what? I think you're going to be an extraordinary sales director
Oh,
too. You are so assertive.
Tracy, I don't need all the rah. Like I know this already. I know this about myself.
Okay. I don't know where to go from. I don't know what to do with
Okay,
you.
so that is a D. That is a D personality. Okay. Now, D's, let's talk about some of their traits. They can be a little aggressive. They can be a little scary. How many of you know a scary D? Be a little scary. Okay. And they're very direct. So D's do not sugarcoat things. And this is where other personalities can really get their feelings hurt because your intention is very pure and you mean well, but you're going to tell it like it is, no filter. So here's the thing that's interesting too, is a lot of times you can tell a D by what they're wearing. So D's typically wear all black or gray. If you're a D and you're wearing black or gray, can you please stand up? They don't usually wear prints. So like Lizzie's a little bit out, like Lizzie, you're a little bit out of the box that you're wearing leopard tonight. So for our live streamers that can't see, John's gonna turn the camera. So stand up. Okay, that's our D section over there, and they're all solid colors, gray or black. Okay, gray or black. Do they keep standing, John? Or are they good? Okay, sit down. Okay, so gray or black, okay? So that is the D. So in your hub, you can look around and most likely your Ds are wearing solid prints, gray or black. So you can probably tell Tracy and I are both D personalities. And we did not plan this, but most of she buys underwear in black, she said. It's true. I just buy whatever fits my butt right now. Okay, so anyway, but I'm in black. And if you go through our closet, like if you were to go through my closet, you guys, it is all black. There's like 5 shades of black according to me. Black, light black, charcoal, dark black. Like if you were to buy me something bright yellow, I would not know what to do with it. It would freak me out. It would stress me out. And I've tried to be that person with a pop of color and it just doesn't work for me. But it's cute on you. So so here's the thing with the D. And here's the thing I want to say too, is that you change as life circumstances happen. So I really freak my husband out when I have children because the first 3 months of my baby's life, I'm an S personality, which we're going to talk about later. But so you can morph and life circumstances can make you flip flop. I would say that right now I'm very balanced between all the personalities. And so we'll talk about the next ones. Ds, I would say your biggest strength is that you're ambitious and you get things done. That is why Ds like rock their Mary Kay business because they get stuff done. You have a goal, you do it. You're fearless or you fight through the fear. They tend to have really good sense of discipline. Their weakness though is that they scare the crud out of their team members. You guys scare them. And so you have to take it down a notch. You have to remember the expectations of you for yourself are not the expectations for everybody else. And so we have to take it down a tone. Your customers, you can also be very intimidating too. So that's why, especially for you, you do need to be on the ground at a sales appointment, okay? Because otherwise they're like, oh my gosh, this woman is intense. So you can come across intense. I know for me, I needed to be more conscientious of smiling because people said that, I don't swear, but people said I look like that one word because I wouldn't smile. Because I was just like, what are we doing here? We need to make money and chase our goals. Like, let's do it. Like, I didn't have a lot of emotion in my face. And so Mary Kay taught me to have more emotion in my face and genuine emotion. Okay. So just be aware of that. We don't want to have like this, what's wrong with you face type of thing. Okay. And then also just being very aware that not everyone wants to hear your mind. Or if you need to speak your mind, like really ask yourself, is this a necessary conversation or can I maybe bank this? She's like, why can't I say that? Why not? This is exactly why. Okay. We have to be careful. I'm speaking as a recovering D. I was like a double D. Okay. I was recovering. I've had a reduction. Okay. D's can be argumentative. But really, like and so as I'm going through this, you guys, there's not like, I don't want you to be like, oh, this is bad that I'm this personality. Every type is necessary in Mary Kay. It's necessary. And you'd find this anywhere. If you worked at a school, you'd find personality types. Churches train on personality types because you're working with different people. So it's just allowing you to have a better understanding of how someone operates. So if I'm doing a sharing appointment with a D, I'm going to talk about the money made in Mary Kay, the advancement. I'm not going to talk about like the time with family. And it's not that D's don't love their family time. I love my family time, but it's not what drives me in life. What drives me in life is achieving. Like typically if my son and I are doing something, we're like achieving something together. Like I thrive on that in life. And so that's kind of the focus that you'll want with a D personality. Are we ready for our favorite?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I really have to get ready for this one.
She's going to get into character.
I have to get my props.
You need your props. That's the story of your life. Yeah. Oh, bless you. Oh my God. The live streamers can't see her yet, so this is really funny.
Just a second. Oh, we're just going to like fling it. Hit me in the butt.
We need like a theme, like an intro song for this one next time. Remember that, John.
Okay, ready? Hey, girl. Hey. Hey. You know, I'm just at the Bucks. Yeah, Starbucks. You know, yeah.
The Bucks.
Yeah, I'm meeting some girl here. I don't remember her name. I've been married here for like 5 years. I don't even remember this girl's name, but I'm meeting her. She's cute. Yeah. I know, my necklace keeps breaking. I don't even know. Did you see what Kim Kardashian tweeted? I'm not even joking right now. I thought it was so lame. Yeah. 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 I don't remember why I'm at Starbucks. What did I tell you? Oh, I'm meeting a girl. Let me find her. Oh, hi. I don't remember this girl's name. What's her name? Terry? Hi, Terry. How are you?
It's Tracy.
Hi. Oh, hi. Sorry. Hi.
Hey.
Okay. I need to go. I'll call you back. Yes. Will it be like 5 minutes, you think?
Like 10.
Okay. Probably like 5 minutes. Okay, bye. Okay, hold on 1 second. I need to I haven't updated my Instagram story.
Okay.
Yeah. Wait, it didn't take. Ready? Yeah. I didn't like the angle on that one. The filter was bad. Ready? Yeah. All right. Hashtag
work.
I like that. Work. The crazy thing is I'm actually posting this. People are gonna be like, what happened to Leah? Hashtag ay. All right, I got it. Posting it. I'm really posting it. Okay.
I am so excited to have some time with you today for a goal setting.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
Okay. Let's focus for a minute.
I love these dog memes when people post about their dogs. It's so funny.
Okay, so we have month end coming up.
Oh, Terry, I forgot.
Tracy.
I brought you something. Tracy. Listen, I was at the meeting, and girl, you know I got you. But you don't wear enough color, so I brought you some Mardi Gras beads.
Oh, how'd you get those?
Well, and they're well, you know, you got to work for what you want. So, but I got you these because these are really functional. You can wear them with every shade of black. And I think you need to add more of a pop of color.
Are you saying I only wear black?
well, sometimes. And then I brought this for you because I thought you could use it as an anklet.
Oh my God. This looks
It would just really, hold on.
This is like a house arrest bracelet, kind of.
No, I saw Beyonce do this, and I don't take this the wrong way, but you work out and your butt's kind of like Beyonce, so I thought it would be like you could channel her.
Thank you.
That's so. Oh my
Wow.
gosh, that is legit.
This is like.
I'm taking a picture of this.
This is so interesting.
Legit. Hashtag legit. Could you give me a coffee? I forgot my wallet.
Sure. You can just, yeah,
Okay,
that's great.
I
I would
would
love
like
to do that for you.
A caramel macchiato, 2 pumps of caramel, hold the strawberry, half of is it called a dollop of whipped cream with some caramel swivels.
Swivels.
But I don't want swirls. I want them to swivel it.
Swivel, baby.
It's more fun that way, and it makes
Okay.
for a better Instagram photo.
Oh, very
Yes.
important.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So I'm so sorry. We're here. Okay, got it.
Okay. So the month ends on Wednesday night.
Does it really?
It really does.
January is already over?
A long time ago. February.
February.
So we're
February.
heading into March.
Oh my gosh, the Justin Timberlake concert is next month. Are you going?
I am not.
Have you downloaded his new CD?
I have not.
Well, that's good because only lame people have CDs. I meant his audio file or whatever we call it now these days.
Yes.
The thing on the app, you downloaded it?
On into
I never
iTunes?
can download it because I always forget my password. And then Apple blocked me because I have to reset my password so many times.
Yes.
And then I'm like, I can't even connect with Justin. Like, he's my spirit guy. Is it a spirit guy if he's not an animal? He's my spirit man.
guy. Yeah.
Justin.
Yeah.
Justin.
So as we head in, as we're closing
Have
out
you
this
ever
month,
seen him with his shirt off? It's
not in
super
real
hot.
life.
I mean,
but-
I'm married, but
but dang girl. Yeah.
it's legit.
Yeah, he's pretty hot.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're so close to earning your red jacket. And I really want to make sure that we get there by the end of the month because then you'll get to go to the lunch
Can you
at
say
career.
chug, 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 chug?
Oh yeah. Chug, 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 chug. Shoot, I should have done that on your Instagram. On your story. Have you you've practiced that clearly.
Yeah.
Okay, so I really want you to get to go to this red jacket training at Career Conference.
yes.
It's super
I really want the red
special.
jacket. I saw the red jacket. It is
Right.
really amazing. I really, really want it.
And the training at Career
Okay,
Conference
yes,
is going to be
training.
awesome. So,
Do they sing there or something? Training.
well, you're going to, as a red jacket, you'll get extra special training.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I can sit next to my friends.
But you know what you really get
What?
at Career Conference if you're a red jacket?
Something for free.
You get to go on stage.
Oh my gosh. Are you serious?
I am so serious.
Tell me what I need to do and I'll do it.
Okay,
Like tomorrow.
so-
Yesterday.
We only need one more team member
Okay.
before the end of the month.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. So maybe like 3 shares together.
Okay, I
And then
can
you're
do
going to
that.
get to go on stage.
Oh my gosh. I'm
At
doing it
Career
right now. Hold on. I'm
Conference.
calling my BFF.
Can you imagine what your Instagram
Girl.
story will look like?
I need
Okay.
you to join Mary Kay right now. Okay, cool. Thank you. Yes. Get $100. Go. Done. Who else?
Boom.
Stage.
Okay.
Do you want
And your
to get matching tattoos?
fake ones or real ones?
Like when I become a red jacket, we should get matching tattoos. That should be
But
like
real
our
or
thing.
fake?
No, like real.
Oh, I'm not sure about that.
Okay.
That's a lot of commitment.
All right. Well, when I'm a director, that's what I'm gonna do with my unit. We're gonna get matching tattoos.
Okay. And they will love it. I'm
It's
so
gonna be the pivot unit.
okay. Anything else you'd like to share with me in this goal setting session
I'm
today?
just super fun, and you're lucky to have me.
I am.
Okay, that's an eye. That is an eye. We spend extra time on the eyes. Okay, so John's going to turn the camera for us. And for our eyes, if you were wearing a bold print of any kind, a print, so not a solid, I would like you to stand up. Or if you have pink hair. Just because it's black and white, you're still wearing a print. Yeah, you're wearing a print too. You got a pink sweater on. They're like in denial. Your patterns, yeah, you are so in eye. Stand up. You're so okay. So our eyes are wearing, like, you come up on stage. You have the best eye dress right now. Right here. See, it's springy, it's blue, it's bold. She's even wearing her red jacket. She has her pin. She has the director swatch on the red jacket. This would be an I, and we are grateful for you. Thank you. Okay. So eyes are the life of the party. You guys, Mary Kay would be so lame without eyes. Yes. You guys give energy to our units. You know who is one of the biggest eyes you'll ever meet is Stephanie Coker. Huge eye. That girl, if I would have given her a shiny pencil, she would have become a top director of Mary Kay. Like, she is all about the prizes. Prizes, 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 prizes. So eyes. So your strengths are that you are magnets to people. Like, you have this amazing, like, people want to be part of the party because of you. Your skincare classes are fun. You are fun. You create excitement and momentum in the unit, and you are so necessary. Now, here's the downside. We have a little bit of a hard time tracking. D's don't track because they don't need to. I's don't track because they don't know you're supposed to track. Okay? So you don't track anything. And the problem with that is that you're missing, like, I's are the ones that will miss their goal by like $1 or something because they're not tracking it. Okay? You'll miss your star by $12 because you weren't tracking it. So we've got to work on tracking. Okay? The other thing that can happen is that you get so distracted by the fun that sometimes we forget that this is also a business. And so we got to put our business hat on. So as much as I know you love going to career conference, we're going to career conference to learn something. Okay. We're going to play, we're going to have fun, but we're going to learn something. So I don't want there to be more emphasis on what shoes you're going to buy for the conference than what you're actually going to get out of the conference. Okay. They're all like, yes, 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 yes. Yes. Okay. When you're recruiting an eye, I've done this before. I've had an eye sit in my pink Cadillac. Because her seeing that car, she can envision herself in the car. She can see it. She's excited about that. So if you're with your director, like, literally be like, let's go sit in her Cadillac. And then directors, this is a good reason why you always have to have a clean Cadillac. So always have a clean car. So you can have them sit in the car with them and they're feeling it, they're smelling it. Eyes want to talk a lot about themselves. So that's another thing too, is if you're an eye, you have to, with your team and your customers, you have to really work at zipping your lips. Because I know you get excited and you want to share your story about how you had that experience and you get excited, but we've got to just like tone it down for a minute, tone it down. Okay. What else can I say about an eye? So we talked about the bright prints. A lot of times D's and I's will clash. So most likely, like, if you have a team member that drives you nuts, she's probably a D if you're an I. And you're probably like, why are you so serious? Have fun, lighten up, go with the flow, you know? But anyway, so you're like the party. Okay, ready for the next one? Okay, and we got to speed it up. Okay. This is my other favorite. Are you ready? Oh, I miss you too. I know, sugar. I love you. You're a great daddy to our kids. Yeah, I know. Yeah, let me talk to Bubba. Hey, honey. I know I miss you too. I know I've only been gone for a few minutes. Daddy's going to tuck you in tonight. I know he doesn't do it as good as me, but I know. Have him do your stories with you. Yes. Yes. Take your vitamins. I know. I'm so sorry, Tracy. So sorry. I know. I'm with my sales director. She's so awesome. I can't wait for you to meet her. She's such a special lady. Okay. I know. Okay. All right. Let me talk to your sister. I'm so sorry. They're just, it's separation anxiety. My son's 24, but I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Yes. Yes. All right. Daddy will tuck you in. All right. I love you, honey. All right. Bye-bye. Bless his heart. I mean, he's 24 and, he can't leave our house yet. He's just, sweet
you don't want
angel.
him to go yet.
Tracy, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I didn't even hug. How rude.
Oh, gosh.
I love you so much. Everyone in Starbucks, this is the most amazing woman. She works so hard. So uncomfortable. I feel like I'm really far from you, so I think I'm just gonna
scoot on over here. Okay.
How is your day, honey? How are you? How are you?
I'm good. But we're here.
I've been seeing your Instagram stories, and I know you love working out, but you're just pushing yourself. Like, I just want you to, do you ever just take a break? You deserve a break. You're amazing.
You are so kind.
Thank you. Let me see the picture of your baby girl.
Oh, yes.
Peyton. Let me see Peyton.
Okay. I have plenty.
Is she going potty on the potty? Okay.
She pooped on the potty all by
that's
herself
awesome.
today.
Okay,
Let's see here. There's a
Oh
picture
my gosh,
of her.
look at that little face.
Is she the sweetest? Or
Oh
what?
my gosh. I'm
Now, let me
texting
see
my
some
husband
pictures.
right now.
Okay.
I want another one. Honey, I'm coming home. Be ready. Okay. I miss that. All right. I'm having another one. I could have so many babies.
Like 10?
15.
Wow.
I know. I just love all the babies. Okay.
Okay. So tell me what you're loving about your Mary Kay business right now.
I just love that everyone is so friendly and you're just an amazing mentor. And I just love the atmosphere and everyone's kind and it's such a blessing to my life. It really is.
Yay. So the culture. You're in love with the culture.
I love it.
Yay.
Yes.
What do
And
you
Tracy, I'm feeling really bad right now because I've got that self-tanning stuff and I feel like I'm getting it on your legs. I'm really sorry. I'll pay for that dry cleaning if
Oh, no.
something happens.
No.
I'm so sorry.
So tell me about what are you wanting to gain out of your business here coming up quickly? What are you wanting it to provide for your family?
When new consultants come into our unit, I just want them to feel good about themselves. I just want to be a light to them.
You are. You totally are.
Thank you.
You know what? There's so many in our unit who look up to you. They love you. You know what I was wondering? I was wondering if maybe
No one's ever told me I was a light before. Thank you.
you
That
are.
was the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me.
I'm so happy that meant
Yeah.
something to you.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was wondering if at the meeting coming up this week, would you be willing to?
Yes, I'll bring the casserole.
Okay.
I will. I'm so glad that you asked me. I would
Yes.
love to bring the casserole. And then I was thinking that we could have A through M. They could bring salads
Okay.
and last names, and then everyone else can bring casseroles.
And so we'll have like a big potluck.
Yeah, because gathering is so important and just
Yeah.
being together and
Yes.
being able to just, like everyone needs a hug. We just need a hug. Hug. Oh, I felt so much better.
Yeah.
Yes, I feel this was a good talk, Tracy. Thank you. I got to get back home to my kid, my son, and just tuck him in. But I feel so good right now.
Okay,
Thank you.
well, we'll
Thank you,
see ya.
Tracy. Okay, that was an S. Okay. S personalities are as loyal as they get. Like, really. That's one of my favorite things about having S. S's are the ones that when they say they're going to finish their star, they finish their star. S's are the ones that when the team has a big goal, they're the ones that step it up. They are loyal, they get it done, and they are amazing people. Your director is obsessed with you if you are an S. She is, because you are amazing. So something I want you to see, so as far as how they dress, S's typically dress very conservative. So you'll see them in a cardigan a lot. So let's stand up if you're in like a little cardigan thing. Okay, S's. Remember, you guys aren't S's. You're the last one. Oh, is there only one of you that was the last category? Interesting. Okay. So mainly like cardigans, and you guys are very family oriented, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, I really over exaggerated, but it's family. So I think the one thing I would encourage you is to remember that you've got to also put yourself first sometimes. So you guys can sit down. Put yourself first sometimes, because there's that rule of if mama's not good, no one's good, right? And so taking care of yourself. And for some of you, that means stepping up in your business. Like for you, that's something that you need to do for you. And I think that can be hard sometimes when you sacrifice so much for your family doing other things. S's, one thing is you'll get so distracted trying to take care of everyone else and make sure everyone else is achieving their goals that you forget about yours. So like I said, prioritizing yourself. And then don't let people walk on you. Don't let people walk on you. And so get that boldness from within and be bold every once in a while and go for it and be bold. Okay, you guys ready for the last one? Do we really only have one of you? You were the only one in the column. I love it. Okay, so our last one is C. All right, you guys ready? I always butcher this one. This is my husband, this personality. Okay. Yes, hello. I would like the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Yes. Yes, thank you. Yes, I'll hold. Yes, I'm so sorry. 1 second, Tracy. I'm checking my portfolio. Yes. Do you play Sudoku? I have Sudoku in my purse if you want to play that one.
I'm good. Thank
Okay,
you.
perfect. Yes. Okay. Great. Perfect. Okay, goodbye. All right, Tracy, I am so glad that we got together.
Yes.
You mentioned that you and your husband were looking for land in the McKinney area, and I picked up
Right.
this book for you. It's called How to Survive Off Grid. Oh, because when I think of the McKinney area, I think of like kind of middle of nowhere. And so I thought you could learn how to, let's see, cut your own wood, how to take a swimming pool and turn it into an ecosphere, how to take care of chickens,
Okay.
things like that. And it's all step by step, like 1, 2, 3.
Wow. Is that a goat?
Yeah, so they're getting milk from him, but they're about to cut his head off so they can eat him.
Okay.
So you can learn how to do that too.
All right.
It's a great book though. Like I've read this. I mean, I could write this book. It's so awesome. So that's for you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so the reason why you called our meeting today was because I had questions. I think you mentioned something about goal setting, but I would rather much kind of talk about the questions that I have.
Okay.
And if I can just be really honest, I boxed you several times with my questions, and you keep referring me back to the Mary Kay In Touch website.
Right.
Which I understand your point that it's on In Touch, but I would just like an answer from you because you're not a computer. So here is my questions. The first thing that I need to know is the average percentage of charcoal in the mask. Like, is it 100% charcoal, or are we talking 15% part carbon, part halogen, part CO3? Like, what is it?
That is something that we could probably find on Product Central.
Okay, so that concerns me though, because you're a leader in Mary Kay and you don't know these things. I mean, I don't mean to be rude, but it's just, I don't understand how someone could get to the top of Mary Kay and not know those things.
You know what I think would be great?
Yes.
Is
what?
if maybe you did the research on that, maybe even called the medical department.
Okay.
And then maybe you could teach a class about that.
I'm going
at
to
the-
take notes.
and maybe you could teach a class about that at the
Mhm.
meeting on Tuesday.
Okay, what would that proposed schedule look like?
So that would
Could you
look,
send me an outline of the meeting?
I could
Do you
send
have
you-
that in Excel? Because I only have Excel on my computer. I don't do well with people with Macs.
yeah, I can get my husband to do that. He uses a PC.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna make a checklist of
Okay.
things you're gonna give me, and then I'll send it to you, just so we don't
Perfect.
forget anything.
And then
Okay.
I'll send it back to you with the proper information.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry. My alarm went off. I need to.
What's it an alarm for?
Well, today is when I wash my black socks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's important. Do you ever just like wash them all together? Like just throw
Oh.
them in there? Okay.
Is that a trick question or
No.
no?
I just take my basket and just dump it all in there. Just,
I'm sorry. What? You do what?
I know. Isn't that crazy? It saves me a lot of time.
That's horrible for the quality of your material that you're wearing on your body.
Oh my gosh. I never even thought about it.
Okay. I'm going to make you a Pinterest board on how to wash laundry, which sounds so trivial. I thought everyone knew. Like, you separate the type of clothes, then you only put your socks on permanent press, and you use the more expensive detergent because your socks go on your feet.
And that's super important, right?
Well, and your underwear, I mean, that goes somewhere else. So you got to really have special detergent for that.
Right. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So back
Do
to
you
Mary
use the
Kay.
same detergent for everything?
I do.
And you're a sales director at Mary Kay?
I am. Does this give you hope?
Here, I have a coupon. I'm going to get you a coupon for some detergent that I love.
Okay.
All right. Yes. Okay. So moving.
Thank
Okay.
you.
So meeting, I am going to run the meeting with an
Whoa.
outline.
You're going to run the part about the product. You're going to teach the
Right.
class on the product.
Right. But our meeting is 2 hours and I will need at least 2 hours to go over the content of the charcoal mask.
Okay. So
Because
remember,
I want to like literally show them, like I'm going to have a piece of charcoal. I'll go to like an observatory or wherever they collect that. I'll get that from a scientist. I'll have that out and then we'll dissect it and then we'll apply it to the guests and then talk about how the different processes come together. It's, like the volcano experiment, but only with our charcoal mask. We'll do that.
right. Right.
Yes.
Okay. So remember, I'm going to
Like I thought, how you put the charcoal mask on your face and you can see the dirt and then it'll come to the surface. I thought we could put a charcoal mask on a piece of meat. We could put a charcoal mask on a cat. We could put a charcoal mask on like a dirty sock, and we can show everyone the difference.
I could volunteer my sock.
Yes, yes, yes. This is a true statement. Yes, yes, yes. But statistically, when people have these things in front of them, they have a better retention. They retain about 88% more. And I really think that's what your meeting's been lacking is you don't have any visual aids at your meeting.
Okay.
And I say that to be nice because I really can help you.
Yeah,
like
no,
I'm
no, I appreciate your feedback.
I'm very good at numbers.
You are.
Yes.
And I appreciate your feedback.
Yes.
Do you have other feedback for me about the
Yes,
meeting?
I figured out your commission check last month.
Oh, great.
Yes. And I did have a question on that.
Okay.
So it says that you get $100 per qualified recruit, and you
Right.
only had 2. So I'm just wondering why you didn't have 5 to maximize that money.
Yeah. You know what I so appreciate is that
Yeah.
you're holding me accountable right now.
Oh, is that? Oh, I just thought you were leaving money on the table.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to, I mean, because
Burn.
to me, like, if you have that available, why would you not? Like, the
Yeah.
math just speaks for itself.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
anyway, okay, listen, I love this chat, but
Okay.
it is, I've got 30 seconds to get in my car. It's going to take me about, I don't know, 10 seconds to buckle up, and then I've got to head over to my other appointment. This was a great chat. I will send you the list. I will make you the Pinterest board, and we are golden.
All right.
Does anyone have any hand sanitizer? Okay, let's give it up for Tracy. Okay. Our lonely C. C's typically wear what you're wearing. Like, she's in like a blazer. They typically wear a blazer. Stand up so they can see they're in a blazer and very professional, studious. So we love you, our lonely C. So T's are very consistent. They're very punctual. They're very factual, and they are slow processors. So like when they get their starter kit, they need to know everything about it and why everything happens in it. They need to know the process before they can make a decision. So for C's, that's a strength of theirs in a sense that they are able, like, they don't miss things. Like one of my sales directors, Stephanie Hall, is a C, and I am always like, I am so glad you were a C, because I'll miss something and she'll be like, well, this is the, like, part A says this, and then A section 1 says that. Like, she is like an encyclopedia. Like, I don't even go, like, I won't go to Stephanie Coker. Like, if I need to know something, it's like, no, I'm not calling Stephanie. Stephanie will tell me about the prizes. The other Stephanie will tell me the bullet points that I need to know. And so they're awesome in that sense that they always know what's going on. C's, your biggest downfall is that you can get distracted by all the information. So you can feel like I'm being productive, but really you're researching. And then you have to make your bullet journal, and you have to do like all these things. And so we want to make sure that, and also at your skincare classes, if you're giving too much information, it will shut people down. So I have seen C's whose skincare classes are 3 hours long, and people are just like, I just went out of here. Like, get me out of here. And then I's, you don't even have a skincare party. You're like, forget that. You're like, what am I selling? What's going on? And then D's are like, buy it now. And then S's are like, my kids miss me. But that's how it goes down. So anyway, you're logical. Your strength is that you're organized. Now, here's what's fun is that the personality styles, you typically marry your opposite. So D's are typically married to C's. So my husband is a high C. And so it drives him nuts. Like, my system of the receipts in the envelope drives him bonkers. That's why he handles it. He is someone that he has to research. Like, before we can buy a vacuum cleaner, he is going to research it. Where I will just go online and go like, oh, that has 5 stars on Amazon. Purchase. And he's like, no, we don't do that. We're going to research it, and we're going to make a pros and a cons list. And I'm just like, buy it already. So he's a thinker. He's a processor. Okay. And then I's and S's usually are married to one another. So like S's are very like quiet, and the I's are like, ah! And some of you are shaking your heads. It's not always true. So you might be going, man, I married the wrong person. Now it makes sense. I'm just teasing. But typically, and that's how God made it. Like, God made us to complement one another, right? So like, if Chloe and I were both D personalities, it would be a nightmare. And so the fact that we literally complement, because usually like what you're strong in as a C is my weakness as a D. And so it complements one another, which is really good. The other last thing, I know you can go sit down. Yeah, you're good. We can leave the chairs here. They're fine. So the other thing that I want to touch on, and I wish I had more time to train on this, you guys, but it's a book I'm going to recommend to you called The 5 Love Languages, if you've never heard of it before. And you can go, I think it's the5lovelanguages.com. But that book transformed my marriage. Cody and I got married when I was 19 years old, which I'd love to have some story. Like, I really need to come up with a story of like why that was a smart idea. But we were just crazy and in love and got married at 19. And anyway, with that being said, there was a lot that we needed to learn. And so one book that a pastor had recommended to us was called The 5 Love Languages. And so whether you're a Christian or not, it's great content. Like, get the book. And they have 5 love languages for children. But there's a quiz online you can take to figure out what your love language is. And the love language is words of affirmation, acts of service, quality time, physical touch, and gifts. And so basically, in a Cliff Note version, we all have a love language, and it's how you receive love the best, okay? So, and usually your spouse has a different love language than you. So to give you an example, my husband's love language is quality time. And my love language is words of affirmation. So when we were newly married, my husband's idea of showing love to me was, hey, let's go for a walk. And since I'm an achiever and very productive, I was like, I don't want to go for a walk. Tell me how fabulous I am. And so I would take a long time writing my husband like letters, like, you're so amazing, and this is what you're good at, and I love you. And he would never say anything about them. And I would get so irritated. But that was because that's not how he received love. And so now that we know this about each other, I'll go on a trip and I'll open my suitcase and there will be a letter in my suitcase from my husband. And I can tell you it killed him writing it because it's not him. He means it, but that's not it's not natural to him. So it took time, and he will write in there. And I know the people that this is not your love language, you're like, oh my gosh, but he'll write in there, like, you're the most beautiful wife. I'm the only wife he's ever had, but you're the most beautiful wife I've ever had, or you're a great mom, and I cherish you. And these are times that I love, are my favorite moments with each other. Or he'll put a funny card with, I thank you for working so hard for our family, or whatever. And then so for me, when I get back home from a trip, quality time. And so that is where we watch The Walking Dead, and I'm not on my phone. Because for me, like when we watch a movie, I would put together like goodie bags or fold laundry or something like that. And that was not honoring his love language, because folding laundry was telling him the laundry's more important than you right now. And so now I sit, we snuggle, and I watch The Walking Dead. And he feels fulfilled. It's great. My son, Lincoln, he's words of affirmation. So we're like two peas in a pod. We're just affirming each other every day. I mean, like, we have this thing right now about filling buckets. Did I tell you guys this? There's this book called Have You Filled a Bucket Today? And it's about like affirming people. And so he'd be like, I just filled your bucket, Mom. And I'll be like, I just filled your bucket. And so we go back and forth. And so he'll do something cute. He'll be like, Mom, you're beautiful. I just filled your bucket. Yes, you did. But anyway, and then Kennedy is physical touch. Kennedy is physical touch. And it was funny because Dusty came with us to Christmas. It was her first Christmas with our family. And all Kennedy wanted to do was like snuggle people. And so Dusty even said, like, well, you can guess what her love language is. Like, she's always, as soon as she comes out in the morning, hold me, nuggle me, Mama, nuggle me. And so I just hold her. She doesn't want me to tell her she's beautiful or smart. She just wants me to hold her. And so when you learn this about people, you guys, it's so helpful in communication. And so why I share this in Mary Kay is that know your team members' love languages. Stephanie Coker's love language is gifts. So I send her stuff. It's gifts. It's gifts. I could go through and list all my other sales directors. Some of them I have to add on to it. Like some of them are foodies. So it's like food. Is like the sixth love language, food. Stephanie Hall, her love language is pizza. So like if I send her something with pizza, she's happy, pizza. Okay, so that's the love languages. All right, so see if I'm missing anything. Okay, we're doing good. Okay, really quickly, let's go over some team building objections, and then we're going to close this and then announce the winners, okay? So I also want to answer this question because everyone always asks me this question, how do I motivate my team? Have you guys ever asked that? How do I and you can go back if you need to go back to your seats or make a new friend. I mean, you're with your personality type, so whatever you want to do. Okay, so has anyone asked the question, how do I motivate my team? Okay, the answer is you don't. You don't, and you can't. If you ever figure that out, you will be a gazillionaire. But you just can't. Motivation comes within. What you can do is you can inspire people, and you inspire people by how you authentically live your life, okay? So I could sit here and give you every motivational speech in the book that I know, but at the end of the day, it's not going to do anything for you. At some point, you might see, gosh, this consultant went from, well, actually, when I do our top 10, that's going to inspire you. Okay, you'll get that. So think about that when I'm reading the top 10 tonight. You're going to hear a couple stories. That's where inspiration comes from. It comes from people stepping up into their greatness and doing something about it, okay? I got eyes. I don't know how you do this with this jingling noise. Take these bangles off. Too much jingle jangle going on here. Okay. I think, was it last Pace Sitters? I was pregnant and I was like a quadruple D. Do you guys remember? I was like, and everyone was like, I like pregnant Leah. Pregnant Leah is feisty. I just didn't hold back. We just went for it. Okay. So objections that you'll get to team building is someone will say, I don't have the $100. I don't have the $100. So I always affirm what they're saying. I don't want them to feel like I'm going to shut them down. And so I say, you know what? I get that. I get that. Money is tight. I get that. Can I share a couple of ideas with you? And so I'll give them, do you have 10 things around your house you could sell for $10? Do you have someone in your life that would loan you the $100 for your starter kit? Do you have a tax refund coming back? Like, I help them brainstorm. And then I heard this from Linda Tupin, and I thought it was so brilliant. She said one time to tell them, and I have said this, if the hardest part about you starting Mary Kay is finding the $100, then this honestly is probably not for you. And you guys, it's a really bold thing to say, but it's so true. Because in Mary Kay, we're make-away, find-a-way women, aren't we? We are, and it's so true. If they have a hard time doing that, then they're going to have a hard time going to a meeting, a hard time doing this. And so, I've never have I ever said, let's hold a party to buy your starter kit. Never, and I never will, ever. Because I want women who make it happen. I want women who are assertive on my team, right? Okay, another objection might be, I need to talk to my husband. And I think that's so valid. And so my question to her would be, what do you think your husband would say? And I always send her home with some sort of video. Like, let me send you home with a video of my sales director, because I want him to have some material, because just like my grandpa, he doesn't know what he doesn't know. And if he's never been exposed to Mary Kay, he's only going to know what his great aunt did in 1920. I want him to know what we're doing now in Mary Kay. And I'll also offer to get on the phone with them or on a FaceTime or whatever. Now, here's the other one that shifts, is when I have a girl say, I need to ask my mom. This is a hard one for me to control my mouth. I have to say this really nicely. So this is what I say to her. Can I talk to you as Leah, your friend right now, and not Leah, your future sales director at Mary Kay? And she'll say yes. And I'll say, okay, listen. In Mary Kay, you have to be 18 years old to start your business, and you are 23. And I could understand, with your mom, if you were to get married, that's a big deal. You got to talk to your mom about that. If you were to buy a home, that's a big deal. You got to talk to your mom about that. But I'm noticing that you're wearing these jeans, and I think that they're designer jeans. How much did you pay for those? Or how much did you pay for your purse? Or that Kendra Scott necklace and earrings that you're wearing, how much did you pay for that? Well, probably together, $120. Did you ask your mom to buy the Kendra Scott? No. And so I said, I mean no disrespect to your mom, and I want your mom to be involved in your business, but I also don't want her to be the one that makes the decision for you, because this could be a life-changing decision for you, but it's not like a do or die, I'm going to be in deep trouble if this doesn't work out for me decision, like getting married or buying a home would. Does that make sense? And she'll say yes. And then I encourage to meet with the mom. Madison's a great story of this. Madison's parents got on a FaceTime with me, and both of them grilled me for a good hour, asking me questions, because I wanted them to be. So it's not about hiding from their moms, but it's those girls. I had a girl a couple weeks ago, and her mom said, don't do it. And her mom wouldn't even get on the phone with me. And I'm like, okay, you're letting your mom dictate your future, and she's not even open to hearing what I have to say, or doing any research on our company. Make your own decision. You're 23 years old. You can do this. It's $100. And then we'll win your mom over in the process, So anyway, and then just if they still are like that, then I let it go. Because again, if she has to ask her mom's permission to buy a starter kit, she has to ask her mom to go to a meeting. Then she has to ask her mom to go to a seminar. And I don't want people that have to ask their mom. I want independent thinkers that take risks. That's what I want. Okay. But the husband's different. To me, that's a different situation. Okay. Okay. So then we have, I don't have the time. Oh my gosh. I completely understand that. It does sound like you're a busy mom. You've got 5 kids, you work full time, or you go to school full time. Tell me right now, let's imagine that you didn't have to put any time investment in Mary Kay. But right now, when you look at your bills, is there a certain amount of money that if you brought in each month would significantly make a difference for your family? And if she says no, then she's lying. If she's like, I don't know, I would say, well, what about is there a vacation you want to take? Or how much would that be per month? And then I would break down that number. If it's $300, or do you have a housekeeper right now? It sounds like you're really busy. A housekeeper is what, $130 per time they come. So what if we figured out how your Mary Kay could pay for a housekeeper? Would that free up of some more time that you could be spending with your kids or your job or whatever? And so again, it's about finding a need and filling it. Okay. And I always make it a game. When someone gives me an objection, I have a counter. Let me show you how, because many times I have found that objections are just them working through fear. It's fear coming out. That's the objection. And then I do the pink pillow. And then the other thing that I ask them is I say on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being, I love being a customer, 10 being, oh my gosh, I want to do this. Yes. And you can't say 5 because it's a chicken answer. Where would you rate yourself? And if she says a 7, I would say, okay, what else do you need to know from me to get you from a 7 to a 10? And then she'll ask a question, and I'll say, hey, now that we've addressed that, it sounds like you're ready. You ready to get started? And then she signs. And that is it. And then you guys, there are times like people will sign and not do anything. So I don't want to make it sound like I've got this like holy grail of recruits. It happens to me too. But I think, again, it's the bounce back ability. I don't put all my eggs into one recruit, the one basket, one recruit. I'm not hung up on, she's going to be my dream. I don't get seduced by potential. Don't be seduced by potential. Just be consistent. Just be consistent. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. And here's the other thing too, is this was something that I was taught early on in Mary Kay. It's something called the rule of thirds. And it says that a third of your team will be rock stars. A third of your team is doing nothing. Or I should say a third of your team is just doing like the minimum. Okay. And a third is doing nothing. So a third of your team is rock stars. A third of your team is doing just consistent, whatever. And then a third is doing nothing. And I tell you this because if you have one person on your team and you like keep trying to talk her into coming to meetings, and she's not doing that, she falls into that 1/3 of not doing anything. And so this is where when you build your team, like I would say once you get to 10 team members, this starts to get fun. Because then you have about 3 who are running with you, 3 who are being consistent, and then 3 who you're like, okay, let us know when you're ready to go. You don't blow them off, but you're just like, let us know when you're ready because we're running. But you have people to run with. And this is why this All-In with 8 promotion is so awesome, because you're getting into DIQ with 8 people. And you guys, it's about the numbers. Once you know your recruiting numbers, you can soar. So know your number. If your number is 1 in 6, then go with that. That means to get to 8, do the math. 6 times 8. Someone smart does that. What is that? Whatever it is. It's whatever. 48. We haven't taught times tables yet in homeschool, so I don't need to know it yet. I'll learn it. But anyway, so 48. So 48 interviews. Okay, that seems like a lot, but when you break it down over 2 months, it's what, 5 a week or something like that? So you're 2 months away from DIQ. And I would venture to say sooner than that, because when you're consistent and you build that excitement, I've noticed that you recruit faster. I'm noticing that with Dusty. I keep picking on her today, but Dusty has had 3 recruits this month. But I'll also show you that there's a correlation between her personal business, what she's been having going on, versus like a month ago. A month ago, she just was kind of here and there. And this month, she's been really consistent. And so the numbers have been coming in stronger. And so when you're diligent in your business, you'll see better numbers. It's always a fact. Okay, in a minute, we're going to announce the winners. But I want to end with this. So I know it's late. I'm going to muster up some energy right now. So I need you to muster up some energy, okay? But I want to talk to you about where we go from here. So you're in one of 2 camps. You kicked butt on your vouchers. You feel good about your vouchers. Or you're sitting here going, ugh, I wish I would have done better. So the first thing is that I learned a long time ago, you can't should have on yourself. You can't should have on yourself. That means you cannot sit here and go, gosh, I should have done that. I should have done that. I should have done that. There's no room to beat yourself up. There's no room for that. So we have to release that. Release. Tomorrow's a new day. Okay. What matters is where we go from here. And gosh, if I were you, I would reprint those vouchers and do them again. Like if you feel like you did not go out, do them again. Do them again. They work. You'll notice in the top 10, we had some crazy things happen, like amazing things. And so if that's the result, why not do it again? Do it again, okay? All right, so 4 years ago, 5 years ago, whenever it was, we were preparing to move to Texas. And I was born and raised in California, same city my entire life. My husband, completely opposite, his mom moves every 6 months. And to this day, she still does. So he had gone to every different school, moves every 6 months. And so when he had proposed the idea of moving to Texas, it was not a big deal because he's used to moving. When he proposed the idea of moving to Texas to me, it was a big stinking deal. So when we figured out we were going to do this, we had a 2-year window that we knew we were going to move. And so during that 2 years, I think I was in a little bit of a denial. And so then it got closer and we sold all of our possessions, like literally sold all the furniture in our house. We have an empty house. We're getting ready to go. And the plan was that my husband was going to drive to Texas because Lincoln was 1.5. And I was not about to do a 23-hour drive with a 1.5-year-old and a dog. So the plan was that Cody would drive out and Lincoln and I would book a one-way ticket and meet him in Texas. Okay. So the time came and it was time for me to book the one-way ticket. And so I went on the computer And you guys, I freaked out. I had never booked a one-way ticket. And all of a sudden I sat there in the realization of, oh my word, I am moving to somewhere, like I don't know anyone here. I know Mary Kay people, but like I don't have family here. I don't know where Walmart is. I don't understand the freeways here. They have, for those of you in California, they have like these side road things. Like when I first moved here, I thought that you could get a ticket for driving on that if you weren't exiting right away. Like I didn't know you could just stay on it. I thought you'd get a ticket. So anyway, like I didn't know what that was about. Everyone talked really slow in Texas. And, you know, my church wasn't in Texas and my family wasn't in Texas. And so I was booking this one-way ticket with the realization of you're not planning on coming back in a sense of like to live there. And I bawled my eyes out. It was the scariest thing I've ever done. And of course, it was God's plan for our life. We were meant to be here and that all worked itself out. But here's what I want to ask you is that each one of you right now are at a computer screen. And there's a few questions being asked. The first question is, where are you coming from? So as we enter in the next few weeks, the final 4 of seminar, where are you coming from? Are you coming from a place of, you know what, I need more discipline in my life? Or maybe you're coming to a place of like, I need more personal growth. I have been way too hard on myself. I need more personal growth. I need to get back to church. I need to go to counseling, whatever that looks like for you, okay? Whatever that looks like for you. Maybe you're coming from a place of, I could be more consistent. Maybe it's a place of, I need to do my director's scripts. I need to listen. I need to be more coachable. Okay, so that's the first step is when you're going to go somewhere, you have to be honest about where you're coming from. I can't just expect an airline to issue me a ticket and not tell them where I'm coming from. And so you cannot expect to achieve your goals if you don't have an honest conversation of where you're coming from. And you guys, I have to do it daily with different things in my life. Daily. Okay, so we all have to do it. So honest conversations, don't be in denial about it. The second thing that you put is where you are going. You guys, I cannot show up at the airport and go, well, we'll see what happens. Put me on a flight. Barbados, Cancun, whatever, let's see. Woo! Doesn't work that way, okay? But that's some of you how you've been playing your Mary Kay business. You're literally entering the month without a plan. You're like, well, let's see what happens. That's what you're doing. It's like you showing up at the airport going, let's see what happens. And guess what? No one's going to stick you on a plane with that attitude. They're going to have you arrested for like being on drugs or something. Okay? So that's what some of you are doing in your Mary Kay though. So what do you need to do to be more clear? And I can't remember if I shared this or not, but you know, when Mary Kay announces me, they don't say, Leah Carta changed her dates. She changed her goal. Like they announced me for what I finished. And so you got to get over that. No one cares. They just want you to finish. Just finish strong. Okay, the next thing that it asks is for the date. I can't book a destination and then just show up at the airport when I feel like it. I mean, I guess you could go on standby, but I heard that's like a real pain in the butt. Okay, you can't do that. So you have to pick a date. And so some of you, I don't want you to exit out of Pacesetters knowing that you were called to be a sales director or knowing that you were called to have a strong customer base or whatever it looked like for you. You cannot leave this without saying, okay, by May, I will have X amount of customers. You need to have that goal. You need to have a deadline. By May, I will have this. By April 1st, I will be in DIQ, whatever that looks like for you. For some of you, gosh darn it, it's March 1st. Those of you that if you're at 3 or 4 active, there is no reason why you could not shut this down and do it. I've seen it happen. If you tell yourself you can't, I will guarantee there will be many people in Mary Kay that will do it. So you either be part of the victory story or keep giving yourself excuses. If you're not going to do it now, when will you do it? Truly. Okay, so we booked the destination, where we're coming from, the date. And then there's that button that says one-way ticket or round trip. And that's where a lot of people get stuck. A one-way ticket says, I'm scared. I don't know what I'm doing. This is crazy, but I know that I want more. And I'm going to jump in. With my eyes wide open, I'm going to jump in, and there's not going to be a plan B or a plan C or a plan D. I'm going to go for it. And some of you, the problem in this whole equation is that you've been going into each event, each season in your Mary Kay business, booking that round trip ticket with like, well, you know, if I don't do Pacers, I'll just, you know, there's the next one we'll do. Oh, well, there's next seminar. Can't make this seminar, but there's next seminar. Round trip, round trip, round trip. And we keep wondering why we're not getting to our destination. So my challenge to you guys, the one-way ticket was fun. Did I miss my family? Yes, but I can always go back and visit. And Texas ended up being one of the best decisions that our family's ever made, ever. And so when you make that one-way ticket decision, I promise you it will be amazing. And there will be a boldness inside of you that you never knew existed. And you have the ability and the power to do it. You do. I love you guys. Thank you for having me. We are going to do the top 10. Okay. I know you're like, top 10. Okay. So I'm going to breeze through this because I want you guys out of here a little bit early. We have some prizes. Okay. So vouchers were in. And I'm really proud. I went through all of the vouchers and read them. And I talked to many of the sales directors today of the top 10, which was really exciting. So our top 10, they are going to be getting. So if you're in the top 10, have your director message me with your address. But they are getting, these are actually, directors will, this is familiar for you, but these are the Kendra Scott earrings. The directors got gold ones at leadership, and everyone has been raving about these earrings, so I got the top 10 silver ones from Kendra. So that's exciting. Okay, so top 10 are getting the Kendra Scott earrings. Okay, are we ready? Okay, number 10 is from the Stephanie Coker unit, Lauren Edmiston. Yay, Lauren. This is out of all of Pacesetters. Number 9 is out of the Tracy Chavez unit in Arizona, Tracy Jorgensen. Yay, Tracy. Number 8 is from the Jessica Fesky unit, Marlena Mudd. Number 7 is from the Joanna Braun unit, Natalie Baus. I think I'm saying it right, Baus. All right, number 6 is from the Marion Forest unit, Mallory Mannion. Number 5 is from the Brianne Moats, Stephanie Coker unit. It's Brianne Moats. Sorry, Brianne. Number 4 is from the Danielle Lunsford unit. They're in Pennsylvania, Amanda Cobble. Number 3 was from the Lucretia Payne Owens unit, Brianna Radford. And her senior director, Kelly, is here. And then number 2, and she was also in the top of Pacesetters last year too, is from the Heather Holsey unit, Amy Paris. Okay. Now, for the number 1, she's getting the Kendra earrings, and she's getting this fabulous basket of Leah's favorite things, which I'm very excited about. So I will post on Facebook so you guys can see all the things that they got. But there's an Alexa, because I love Alexa. And then honey sticks. That's like a thing people don't know, but I love honey sticks. You're like looking at me like it's gross. Have you ever sucked on a honey stick? They're so good. Honey sticks. This book, I'm going to do a shout out for a book. My friend Lisa sent this to me, Lisa from the Georgia Hub. It's called Girl Wash Your Face. And this book kicked my butt. I read it like in 3 hours. It's amazing. If you like books where they're like kind of talking to you in the book, like it's really good. And then of course, The Greatest Showman soundtrack. And this is my family's favorite game. Do you guys ever play this? Bean Boozled. It's amazing. There's pop sockets. This is like my favorite bath sponge. And there's hair things. And this is my new obsession. It's a brush cleaner, you guys. You pop this in your sink, right? And then you take the cleansing bar that we have and you get it wet and rub your brushes on it. And then you rub your brushes back and forth on this in the sink and it cleans your brushes like amazing. It's just called a brush cleaner mat. You can get them on Amazon. They're amazing. Okay. And then charcoal toothpaste. It makes your teeth white and it's amazing. Not when you're using it. Your teeth are black and creepy, but it's good. It's very romantic. And then a pop socket because I love pop sockets. And some of my hair ties, and there's goodies in there. I'll send you some cookie dough too. When you're number 1, I'll send you cookie dough because I get a discount on that. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna wait a minute because there's like a 30-second delay, and I'm gonna FaceTime the winner. So they're gonna get through this. So we're just gonna wait a minute. And you guys, the winner, it's a really cool story. Okay, I'm gonna pull it up. Dun, 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 dun. Sorry, FaceTime. Should I hold it up to my? Hi, Anita.
Hello.
I'm looking for Jenny.
She's right here.
Could you? Hi, Jenny. Do you know why I'm calling you?
No.
Can you guys hear her? Yeah. Okay. I'm calling you, friend, because you were our #1 pace setter. She's at her training center. Okay, so Jenny, I'm gonna let you talk for a minute, but I need to share with them that you and I already know each other.
Yes, we did.
And this is like a total God wink right now.
I'm telling you.
I know. I have to get through this without crying. Okay.
I'm not a crier.
She's crying. Okay, so you guys, Hurricane Harvey hit in September, and I put a rally cry out to you guys. And I said, we have consultants that need us. We need to step up. We need to do it. And many of you donated all your sales. And you guys, we took Cody and I had a U-Haul of, packed to the max. I think, what did we figure? It was like $30,000 worth of house stuff and gift cards. And you guys, Jenny was one of the recipients of that. So cool. And so what's so awesome, and Jenny, I'm gonna have you share this, but you guys, like, her house is destroyed, so she's literally like in a little tiny home. They have an outhouse for a bathroom right now. She transformed part of her little tiny home into a studio. She's finishing up DIQ tomorrow. Like, she'll be a new director. So Jenny, I'm gonna put you up to my microphone. You gotta take a deep breath, but I want you to tell them a little bit of your story, because I saw your name as #1. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, this is just such a God thing. Okay, so I'm gonna go like this.
I don't even know what to say. First thing I've got to say is I've got the best mentors ever. I've got the best Mary Kay ever. I just don't even know what to say. I'm so caught.
Does Anita want to say anything?
Mama, you want to say something? One of the things I just want to say that Jenny, we had a JV party yesterday for another Osprey, and Jenny was so excited to say that what she loved about her Mary Kay more than anything is that her daughter is watching her, and that she knows when you work hard that you will reap the benefits by working hard. She's teaching her daughter that when you work hard, you can accomplish anything.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, I wish I would have known this as like total crap.
Okay. Well, Jenny, I'm so proud of you. It's a prime example of not letting a situation define you. And just to hear how you guys have overcome literally going through hell and back, really. And it was just, I'm so glad that I got to meet you and squeeze you, and that you were a recipient of all of the, things that we had. Like, it's just such a God thing that this is happening. And so I want to be the first to congratulate you as a brand new sales director. I'm so proud of you. And I can't wait to see you walk across the seminar stage, and you just keep rocking it. And what an amazing story that you have to share with people on just the Mary Kay culture, and talk about full circle, right?
I'm telling you, it's so caught off guard.
Okay, well, we love you. Congratulations. And I will be shipping you your prize in the mail, okay? All right. Bye. Okay, so seriously, those of you that did the Amazon registry, like, Jenny was one of the people that benefited from that. And so, I saw that today. I'm just like, oh my gosh, okay. So anyway, you guys, thank you so much for a memorable pace setters, for an amazing pace setters. It was just amazing. Everything will be up in the Facebook group, so you can go back and revisit it and things like that. But I love you all. Drive safe, and thanks again for making it so awesome. And directors, you're not done. Directors, you have one more meeting and one more voucher. Thanks, guys.